Well, Angelo, here we are again. It's Sunday night, 7:30. I know we're a little bit late. I'm sorry, guys. Technical difficulties, obviously on my end because I'm not very technical savvy at all.
No, at your age, you don't know how to use
No,
technology?
not
No.
in my age.
Gosh.
It was an end of an era last night for the UFC pay-per-views. At least we hope so. I think it might be on hold. I am under the illusion that they are, whatever you want to call it, that they will eventually hit us with a $100 one-day pay-per-view going, this is the biggest and the best card ever that we're going to feature on whatever platform for pay-per-view. They will do it. I just feel like it's coming, after maybe a year, maybe two. We've built this up, stars now, and now we're going to offer $100 or $110 pay-per-view.
Where did that come from? You're just making that up, or
yeah, I'm just making that up.
You just literally out of thin air just invented $100 pay-per-view.
Yeah, I mean they've already had one, right?
They told us no more.
The Conor McGregor one was $100. The Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather one was $100. I think that it's in the books. I think it will be available. I believe. I think that they'll make this thing happen. They'll make it in like a year or 2 years when they've built up huge stars on CBS and Paramount all around the world. You're going to see a huge pay-per-view card that they're going to say, oh, it's going to be, I don't know, think of some ridiculous.
I mean, the White House card's a good example, but
yeah.
I disagree with you though.
Okay.
I think the entire industry is heading the other. I think pay-per-view is effectively dead. The UFC was the last man standing on the pay-per-view totem pole.
I would agree with you normally on that, but I also think that they're going to get these kinks worked out with like Netflix, Paramount, whatever it is, and I think Paramount will end up offering something. It'll be very hard to stream. It'll be very hard to still it. And they're going to say, hey, like if it goes to whatever Paramount, if it goes to there, then it'll be something they can offer. Say it'll be like $100 pay-per-view. Just, I had that feeling.
I think so. I don't think they're going to bring back pay-per-views. I think consumers now are just different and they're not buying one time. People aren't renting movies anymore either. They're just waiting for them to hit their whatever streaming platform they already have. So what I think will happen is if they try to squeeze more money out of us, they'll either just raise the price of Paramount, which they already said the price is going up, but Paramount's really cheap. And it comes free with a bunch of different things.
Tell people, because I learned it from you, I believe, is that like Walmart Plus.
I get it free with Walmart Plus. Walmart Plus on Black Friday, it's $50 a year. I pay $100 a year. You get I have a Walmart up the street. You get free deliveries from your local store. I used it today. Yeah. So it's the same prices that are in the store. And I had seltzer because I drink LaCroix. I should be drinking water, but it's just water with bubbles.
As I sit here and drink an IPA.
Well, this is white wine. So,
oh wow,
yeah. So got LaCroix, toilet paper, paper towel, just random crap that going to the store for is a nightmare. It's free delivery, shows up your door, but it includes a bunch of benefits like discounts on gas, all these other things. But it also includes Paramount Plus. So I have Paramount Plus with Showtime just through that. But what I was going to say is I don't. First of all, we had a spectacular event last night. You're going to open up with pay-per-views anyway. So I don't think we're going back to the pay-per-view model. If they're trying to squeeze another nickel out of us randomly, what I think will happen is they're just going to insert ads and then create ad free. Or as a giant UFC fan, back in the day, you don't know this because you don't know technology today, let alone back then. Back in the day, UFC Fight Pass had different camera angles and you could listen to the corners. So you could watch your pay-per-view stream and then on your laptop have corner cams and corner audios. If they created like an enhanced UFC experience like that, or $5 upcharge for live 4K events or whatever it is, $5 and you can unlock corner cams, I would do that. Especially in my media room, the way I have TVs everywhere, I would absolutely 100% do that. So I don't think they go back to a pay-per-view model. If they want to squeeze a nickel out of us, I think they will add more and then tier it out.
I mean, last night was, I believe, the first time we've seen in a long time. I know they tried it a long time ago, was the ref cam.
They did a good job because usually the ref cam sucks because they're trying to do their jobs and they're moving like crazy. I don't know who it was on last night, but he was like stiff as a board. I think they literally told him ahead of time, like, hey, try not to move because of the camera, because he wasn't moving his head and it was actually enjoyable.
Yeah, I also believe that I think they believe they're like the meta glasses, or there's a meta link through in. And I also wonder if they have an earpiece in, like, hey, because I noticed that when the ref
coming to you,
when the ref was looking down more, they said all of a sudden it went like it jumped up right away. Like they were in his ear saying, hey, all I can see is the guy's ass. Like, can you move, or can you like lift your head so I can get?
I hope they're not doing that. They better not be doing that.
That's
this guy's
scary,
focused
right?
on fighter safety, and you're like, hey, let me get an angle of Pantoja's arm facing the wrong direction.
That's exactly what I said.
Let me focus on this.
Also, too, that just means that someone's in the ref's ear while he is reffing, not just for that's just dangerous, but that's also with betting. You've got to be very careful, careful with that. But look, I also I thought last night, to be honest, to end and wrap up an era of pay-per-view with the UFC, it was freaking awesome. It was awesome from beginning to end. It was an awesome night. Loved everything about it. And in the granite says, happy holidays, Josh. I'm going to add your name, Angelo. Not sure if he thought and knew or you were going to be here, but good people and savages. I appreciate, I did pin it, and let me go ahead and jump in here. Let me take a look at it. But I want to thank you so much, man. Thank you guys so much. And you guys supported me this whole year, and I'm hoping that next year is going to be an even bigger year than it was this time. Angelo, I'll be doing on Sundays unless something comes up. I believe Angelo will be unavailable next Sunday. I will also be traveling. I turned this off, damn it, again. And
this is like watching my grandmother try to not get scammed on the phone. Like, this is crazy. Your age is showing, dude. This is
you're killing me, man. You're killing me. But in the granite, thank you so much, man. We appreciate it. And man, moving. Cool. I love it. Hey, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Look, we're ending this era of pay-per-view, and next week ends the era of ESPN.
Yeah.
What before we
going out a whimper.
Yeah, but going out on a whimper. You must be talking about the fight
Vegas card. There's only 11 fights on a Vegas fight card, like an Apex fight card.
Can you imagine paying for that fight experience if you bought the VIP?
I have paid for that fight experience, and it was. I went with Jacob, and it was spectacular, but it's a one-time deal. To pay. Now they are renovating the Apex, so when I went with Jacob January this year to watch Amanda Hebos get smoked by Mackenzie Dern, we paid $2,500 each. It was $5,000 for two dudes to share a couch. Granted, it is the best view in MMA because.
Are you talking about Mackenzie Dern? Or are you talking about
all of the above? Because you're not like, if you get cage side tickets, the cage is elevated. You're looking up. It's actually shit. It's a bad view. The best view in an arena is like slightly. Let me move my hand this way. It's like slightly up the. I can't do it with the camera. It's slightly up the bowl, so you're looking down, and that's how the Apex is set up. The couch is like on a podium kind of. Yeah. So you're looking. It's a great experience, great view, but $2,500 to watch fights in silence. You're basically in a library. Was not great, but they are renovating it to fit like 1,000 people, which that should help.
You know, those couches are just casting couches, right?
I mean it.
Yeah. You know those things are you're out there sprawled out, you and your boy Jacob, on casting couches.
God forbid a man gets comfortable. You know, every time I film a vlog, so I film vlogs. So if anybody you don't know who I am, I have a whole betting channel. My buddy Jacob and I, we break down fights, we give out bets, all that stuff. And when you're picking fights and you're doing predictions and you're doing bets, you're wrong sometimes. These are fist fights. I had a bet on Alexandre Pantoja. That guy's arm was facing the wrong direction. Of course, people are like, good pick, Angelo. Like I'm supposed to know. Anyway, so in order to help humanize myself, I started filming vlogs. And it's like, guys, I'm on the internet picking fights, but I'm a dude with like a couple of kids. Like I'm a normal person in real life. So I film vlogs. Part of the vlogs are just like my day, kid sports, like whatever. Cook food, people come over, and then live fight reactions. I moved to my meeting room, watch fights. Every time I lay on the couch, I'm in my own home, laying on the couch. I sit on my hips. Like I sit sideways, I fold my hips, and I watch the fights.
Do you cross your legs?
Like I don't cry. I mean, there's like it's like this.
You sit like Gavin Newsom?
I'm sitting like that.
You sit like Gavin Newsom? He's getting railroaded right now for the way he crosses his legs.
I didn't see how he sits. But he crosses his legs like this instead of like this.
Yeah.
Like instead of putting your leg across.
Oh yeah, it's not a cross like this. It's like this. They're like intertangled. Yeah.
But so 100 out of 100 times the comments are like, Angelo sits gay. It's like, dude, I'm relaxing in my own home. Like I'm just laying on my own couch. What are we talking about right now?
Gay.
That's literally, they're like, Angelo sits
Hangover. Yeah. The Asian dude from Hangover. Gay. It's so funny.
That clip is from Community.
Okay, whatever it's from, but hilarious though. He's
Yeah,
hilarious. See, old age. I don't pay attention to that stuff. I very rarely watch TV. I'm watching the Chiefs right now as we're filming because my boys are playing tonight. They need to win, otherwise they're bounced out of the playoffs. If they don't get some wins in the next couple weeks, and hopefully some of the other people get some losses, they may not make the playoffs anyways. But like we're ending the era on ESPN. You said they're going out with a whimper. But
not the pay-per-view. The pay-per-view was great. I'm talking UFC Vegas 112.
Yes.
Is going out on a whimper. Yeah.
11 fights. And can you imagine if you paid for those tickets and you show up, there's only 11 fights? Like, damn. But look, let's just talk about the fight last night. Absolutely. The whole card from top to bottom, stacked. Everybody that put money down, they all lost their asses last night. All of them. There was a couple people that I saw that came out, they said like, hey, at the money line that you could get with Petr Yan, I had to take it. There was a chance. And I've always been one of those guys. But I also remember a conversation you and I had last week in on one of our recaps and also on a Monday show. We're talking about, I said, I also believed that Merab was going to win the fight. But I also thought this fight was going to be a lot closer. And you thought it was going to be more of the same. As you were watching it, what was going through your mind?
Shoot another takedown. Stop striking. Shoot another takedown. Listen, I've been getting criticized by not being supportive enough of Jan's performance. Jan did a great job. I am not. There's no excuses. Like Jan, Merab had no excuses. So why would I make excuses, right? Jan did a great job. Merab, I'm going to make an excuse, he didn't seem like himself. And all week long, this dude was miserable. His lips were purple. He seemed to be upset. It might have been too much, but it doesn't matter because even I think if the same version I think the best version of Merab we had ever seen was against Corey Sandhagen. Even if that guy showed up here, Petr Yan was just on it, dude. He was landing clean. The takedown defense was there. He shot his own takedowns. And I thought that was an interesting game plan because Umar is the only person that's actually really tried to take down Merab. Actually, and Ricky Simone, which was his last loss, actually tried to take down Merab. Most people are just, here comes the takedowns. I better defend. Here comes the takedown. Where Yan was like, I'm going to move forward. I'm going to light his up. I'm going to kick him in the stomach and I'm going to shoot my own takedowns. I don't give a shit. And it worked for him.
Yeah, I think the body work paid off. It paid dividends right from the jump. Also, too, I thought Merab just fights the way that I thought he started open up. He fights the way he normally fights. He kind of doesn't always win round one. He sometimes will, but majority of the time, as when you get to these top guys, he loses rounds 1 and 2s. And then when he gets to round 3, 4, and 5, it's like he just jacks it up. And
he didn't
no, he tried. Just that Jan had an answer for everything. Yeah. It seems like every time I'm trying to give Jan credit, you're trying to take it away. And I understand it because you lost a lot of money last night by betting on Merab.
Jacob made a fortune. So We Want Picks was up. And when I wasn't saying that like to make an excuse from Rob, I'm saying he didn't ramp it up. Whether he tried or not, he didn't. He had no more success in rounds 3, 4, and 5 than he had 1 and 2, which is none.
I mean, the striking right off the bat in the very first round, he was landing clean. He was faster than Petr Yan. He was having success in the first round. He just was taking some big shots as well, and he wears his damage a lot worse than Petr Yan. Nose is always bleeding. Dude. By the end of the first round, he was bloody already. And you're like, wow, like it's already showing that the damage is being committed by Petr Yan over Merab. But I said, hey, it's a nosebleed. We see this all the time with Merab. He's got the weird nose. He's got the cut, scar tissue on there. I mean, come on, I'm not going to sit here and lie to people. They all know what I'm thinking.
Got a weird nose.
Angelo, turn sideways for a second.
This is what's called handsome.
I think everyone gets what I'm getting at. All right, man. Look, the fight overall did not disappoint. I thought it was probably one of the most entertaining fights that I've ever seen. Hands down.
It wasn't even the most entertaining fight on that card.
It wasn't, but it was one.
it was a great fight. Don't get me wrong, but that's a crazy statement.
No, it's not a crazy statement because anytime you have two guys, it was world class. It was world class.
It was high level.
Yeah, high level. What we saw in the Ebo fight, like that's not high level. That's like slobber knocker style stuff, and I love that. I mean, I'm all in. Hey, sign me up, man. But that wasn't high level. These guys were just trading, getting after it, and I loved every bit of it. But you have to be honest with yourself. This was 5 rounds of back and forth battling, and the rounds were a lot closer than the scorecards showed. I mean, look, 1 or 2 big shots by Merab, and Petr Yan's losing a round. It could lose in maybe more than one, maybe more than two. So it ends up the fight goes the other way. But Petr Yan's the body work, from the body kicks to the knees and to the body shots. They just, every time he touched Merab's body, man, he was on fire. Absolutely on fire.
Visibly was like, ugh.
Yeah.
It was almost as bad as Jan Blachowicz going, ow, when he got that elbow to the cheek, which I was like, that dude, his orbitals broke. He was so fine. Weird. I don't know why he yelled, ow. There was nothing wrong.
Angelo, these things do hurt, right?
Yeah, no shit. Who else says ow when they get hit, though? It made
majority of the people in the world do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we talking about the majority of the people in the world? Or are we talking about the 1%ers that are fighting for their life for 10-10 in the UFC?
He is not fighting for 10-10. That dude is the former champion, and he still said, ow. You're criticizing a former champion, he still said,
no,
ow.
I thought it was crazy. He just said, ow.
Yeah.
And then he grabbed his face. I literally thought, like, oh, his cheekbone is broken. His orbital's broken. Yeah. Something's broke. Like, for him to do that, and then he came out and won the next round.
I thought it was a fantastic fight, man. Give me your critique. Round one, stand up. Merab was looking good on the feet. Everyone's yelling obviously at the TV. Shoot, why are you not wrestling? He's landing some shots. He's had some success lately on the feet.
Success, yeah.
I mean, Corey Sandhagen. I can't say much more. He looked fantastic. But I also said, you said, when he tried to ramp it up, he just didn't. I wanted to throw this out there. 4 fights in a year, 4 title fights. That's 2 extra rounds of sparring, 2 extra rounds of mitt work, 2 extra rounds of bag work, 2 extra rounds of cardio, grappling, wrestling. Like, for every fight, not just like, this one fight I did 2 extra rounds. No, 4 times in the 2 extra rounds, and that's on a weekly basis. You're doing 2 extra rounds. That's no different than like, and I'm gonna be a little biased here towards my Chiefs. We're not doing very well this year because we've been in the fucking Super Bowl the last 6 years in a row or 7 years. That's an extra 2.5. Yeah, it's the Super Bowl or AFC Championship. That's basically
those are 2 different things.
Well, we've been in the Super Bowl the last 4 years, I believe. But bottom line is, you're getting a whole extra month, almost 2 months. Actually,
that makes sense. You're playing longer.
Yeah. Your rest is less, and I think for Merab, maybe a little bit of that was the hangover of it. That might have been something. That's why people don't do it.
What's funny is I saw a comment when I picked Merab all week long. And when I was picking Merab, there was a lot of people on Jan, more than I expected. And a lot of those people were like, when Merab loses, I better not hear you make excuses that it's because he fought 4 times in a year. And there is something to fighting 4 times in a year, but Merab is built different. He lives in the gym. He trains all day, every day. Obviously, the cutting of the weight, and this weight cut did seem tough for him. Like, his lips were purple. He was miserable. DC on the weigh-in show, his exact words were, that guy looks like shit. Like, he didn't mince it. He was just like, that guy looks like shit. So, like, I'm sure that was an accumulation of, let's put it this way. Was that the best version of Merab? No. Did fighting in 4 times in a calendar year affect him? Yes. Would have affected the outcome if that wasn't the case? I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, I
think Petr just looked perfect. Now, if we do a rematch 4 months from now, I might go back and pick Merab. I don't know. I'll have to rewatch that fight a little closer, but I'm not going to boil this down to Merab had a bad night. He didn't have his best night, but Petr did have his best night.
And you think that was his best night?
When does he look better?
I mean,
when
he fought Uriah Faber, he looked fucking pretty, and Jose Aldo, he looked pretty damn good.
He did look good against Aldo. He beat the shit out of Aldo.
Yeah.
Beating Uriah Faber, like Uriah Faber was like a different generation of fighter. He wasn't fully well-rounded. Like to me, Uriah Faber was like the 1.5 version of MMA fighters. Not quite 2.0, but definitely not the original generation. So beating up Uriah wasn't crazy, but he did smoke like peak Jose Aldo.
Yeah.
So, but that was 135-pound Aldo, not 45-pound Aldo. So,
yeah.
You could do the weight there. But
so you just said peak and then made an excuse that it was 135 and not 140.
Well, peak.
So which one is it?
I'm fine. Then not peak, because 145 Aldo was peak.
Yeah, 145 Aldo definitely was peak. Look, the comments that Petr Yan made after the fight. Hey, maybe Merab and Umar should do it again before I fight, and I just fight the winner. What's your take on that?
That's bullshit. They need to run this back. This needs to be a rematch. I went through the entire.
Okay.
You don't think they should do a trilogy next? Who should fight next?
Oh, I'm not saying that it should be Umar. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say that.
But you want to.
No. I look. He's got to win. He's got to get a win over Figgy. And everyone keeps saying, "Oh, he's going to win. He's going to beat."
He's
Figgy.
going to destroy Figgy. That
just like you said,
gimme.
Merab was going to just do the same exact thing he did to Petr Yan. And we all sat here and said that Pantoja was going to walk through Joshua Van. And guess what happened? Look, I'm not under that.
You are not going to sit here and pretend like Pantoja and Joshua Van actually got into a fight. They didn't get into a fight. We can't break down that like a fight happened.
We can break down the main event. Let's just break down the main event then. The main event is exactly how exactly like what could happen anytime you're fighting a top tier guy. When a guy comes in as focused as Petr Yan did,
can we ban people for racism? Cover Big Bet said replacing Big John with an Italian is ridiculous. Can we ban for racism? Italians are a protected class of citizen. And this isn't some bullshit gabagool. This is an Italian passport.
Gabagool? What is
I'm an Italian citizen.
Yeah, they're getting rid of that, by the way. You can't be a dual citizenship anymore.
According to, who's getting rid of America or Italy?
Yeah, America, yeah.
Well, that's a problem.
Yes. Are you moving back? Are you going back? Were you born here, buddy? Are you going back?
I was the first one in my family born here and the first one to speak English.
So you're an anchor baby. Got it.
Well, back then it was a little easier to get here. You didn't. There was no river to run across from Italy. They took basically the Titanic to Ellis Island.
Okay, so where do you go with this? You're saying he should run it back? Dude, now look,
yeah.
I think. Look, I'm all for the run back. I think if once Merab gets some rest, once he gets, let's just say 4 months off, and you have him come back sometime in May or June or July, I'm all for it.
Have you seen a calendar or no?
No.
What's 4 months from December?
No. I was just saying, like somewhere around that time, like April, May, June, whatever. But look, let's be honest. Like he needs a good 60 days just to like, recover. The body it runs like a fucking Ferrari, but you need to rest it every once in a while, man. You got to rest it. You can't run it on red all day, all the time, 365 days a year. That dude's running it on red. And he's got the fucking cojones to do it. He's awesome. Like, I love everything about him. But this is one of my favorite comments ever. I'm going to go ahead and show it. Whoops, not that one.
Oh, no. That said Angelo's a good guy. Josh the Gimp. He is. I can confirm. We must have a picture together. I can confirm he is small and gimpish.
Gimpish? Really?
I can confirm. Listen, I think you have to run it back. Here, let me go through the rankings right now. And the only reason you can't have like a Dana in the post-fight press conference officially announce or say this is what we want to do is because a lot of the top 5 guys are booked in the next month and a half. But if we take a look at the division, Sean O'Malley is the next ranked person, right? Right now, they haven't updated the rankings yet because this website is atrocious for some reason. But right now, it's Petr Yan, number 1. Number 2 is Merab. Number 3, Sean O'Malley. That dude's coming off 2 losses in a row. He fights Song Yadong. He's got to get through Song. If he beats Song Yadong, I am 1,000% sure the UFC is going to do Yadong or Sugar Sean O'Malley versus Petr Yan. They have some history. There's some beef. It's a controversy. I'm 1,000% sure they're going to do that match. I don't think they should, though. After that is Umar. Umar's coming off 1 win, a decision win after losing to Merab, the guy that Petr beat. Corey Sandhagen is coming off a loss. Can't be him. Yadong, if he beats Sean O'Malley, I doubt it. But if he doesn't beat him, then he's losing, so who cares? Mario Batista's coming off a loss. Deiveson Figueiredo, he's fighting Umar, so one of those two will have a win or a loss. If Deiveson wins, he still hasn't earned a title shot. He just lost to Petr a little while ago. Henry Cejudo's retired. And then we have Charles Jourdain. The rankings in this division are a hot mess. There are only 2 options because I don't think it can be Umar. I don't think they're going to do Umar versus Petr. I think the only real 2 options are a rematch with Merab, or they wait and see if Sean O'Malley beats Song Yadong, and then they just do that fight because there's history there. They can build it up. Sean won a controversial, decision the first time around and all that.
Yeah. I'm in this. I honestly believe Umar was offered, I believe, the title shot. And then also was talked about, said, hey, let's give him another fight. Didn't look spectacular his last fight. It was a tough fight. Didn't look the way that he wanted to look. They're taking another fight. You got to tip your hat to him. He's not sitting behind a microphone going, hey, man, I'm only going to fight the champ. And if I don't get it, I'm not fighting. Like, he's like, I'm going to just keep fighting. He'll get himself there. Whatever happens with him, happens with him. UFC's going to have something figured out for him. He's got something figured out for himself. Father's plan. They'll get it all sorted out. In terms of Sean O'Malley leapfrogging everybody, that'd be fucking ridiculous. That would be ridiculous.
We just watched Arman get benched.
Yeah.
We just watched Diego Lopez jump over 2 undefeated fighters with better records than him, recent and long term. So yeah, they're going to take their cash cow. Sean O'Malley.
You can't compare Arman's situation to Sean O'Malley's situation.
And you know what? That's why I moved over to what Diego Lopez did. He jumped the line. He has 1 win. He lost to the champ, got 1 win after that, and then he jumped 2 undefeated guys to get a title shot. I mean, Sean O'Malley technically is coming off 2 losses in a row, but it's to the same guy.
Mm-hmm.
So they're probably going to bump him. I assume they're going to bump him up because the bantamweight division, first of all, I think they do Merab again, and I'll give you 2 reasons why. 1, I think the UFC appreciates what Merab has done. He's shown up. He's fought everybody. But, obviously there were issues when him and Aljo were in the same weight class. But once Aljo left, that was it. Merab said, give me whoever. I'll do it. The fact that his first title defense was against Umar, somebody that basically everybody regarded as the toughest competition division, his first title defense. And he said, okay. And then he just fights again a few months after that, fights again a few months after that. So I do feel like the UFC appreciates that. And they'll take care of him. And the second reason is, did you hear the pop Merab was getting? When Merab got his first takedown, first of all, they said he was 0-9 or something. The way they were counting takedown attempts was atrocious. But anyway, when he got his first takedown, that crowd went nuts. Yeah. They went nuts. Merab has created an aura about him where he can be, and Merab is not boring because of his activity, but he can be a wrestle first fighter, which are getting widely panned in every other division. He can be a wrestle first fighter and a fan favorite. Yeah. And he finally turned that switch. He finally got people to appreciate him, and then he lost. I think the UFC runs it back for that reason. The fans went nuts for him last night.
Okay, I want to
guy that people hated before.
I want to clarify. I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve it. I'm not saying that. I'm simply saying that UFC and Dana, and I think everyone kind of sees the writing on the wall. And you brought it up yourself. He didn't look himself. I'm not saying he didn't look himself. I thought Petr Yan looked really, really good. I thought he was dialed in. He understood what was at stake. He knew he probably never get another title shot again after this, or at least a long period of time. And he's getting older. He's 31 years old, but the time is clicking. And so in this situation, I don't have a problem with them running it back. I'm not trying to make that argument whatsoever. My point is, though, is that there's going to be another fight, I think, between the two. They're going to have Merab maybe sit, relax for a little bit. 4 fights in a year. They just paid this guy out a shit ton of money over the last 4 fights. They're like, okay, look, dude, let's go ahead and sit you for a little. Let's get you healthy. Let's get ready to hit you, sometime in like April, May or June, somewhere along that line. Let's get you a fight then. I mean, we'll see. But it also depends on how things shake out with how many fighters are injured. And they may need to call me like, look, we need you to fight. Like, we don't guys are hurt. We need guys to actually get after it. Like that's what we need. So I could see that happening as well. And they may throw Petr Yan back in there. I didn't like the comments because we've heard this before. This is no different than like other fighters are like, oh, if I'm not getting a title shot, I'm not fighting. I'll just retire. And when they start doing shit like that, and when a fighter starts saying, hey, why don't the 2 number 1 guys fight? The UFC doesn't do that. They never do that. They never have the number 1, the number 2 guys fight. Unless like the champ is injured or something along those lines. Okay, let's see what happens. Or they don't like one of those guys. They want one of them to lose. They don't do that. They want to have another guy right after that so they can have 2 fights that they can sell. So the fact that he said Merab, why doesn't Merab and Umar just fight? He's trying to get rid of one of them so he doesn't have to fight 2 hard fights in a row. Well, he's gonna have to. No matter what it is, he's gonna have to. So I think. And I'm not going to say Umar because I still believe Umar's got a tough fight. You're not going to say Umar because the more shows we do together, I call you out on your homer bullshit. No, and now and honestly, this is not an insane place to say Umar, so you can say it. No, it's not. He's got to win.
Okay, Josh, you can.
He's got to win, and you're over here stroking it like as if he's a guaranteed win.
I'll bet you any amount of money he wins. And I know you're not going to bet against your friends, but like,
no, I don't bet,
dude. This is the easiest.
That's cursing him right there from the spot.
I'm not trying to disparage Deiveson Figueiredo because I appreciate what he's done at multiple weight classes and he's good. Deiveson Figueiredo is the easiest fight for Umar at this weight class in the top 10. There's not an easier fight. There just isn't. Deiveson Figueiredo's a bully, and he's going to out-bully Umar? Come on.
No,
it's the easiest fight in the top 10.
I understand what you're saying. I do. But we also saw what happened with Merab and Petr Yan the first fight. And we're like, he basically just walked him down, took him down. And he had shot like 30 shots, only got like 8 of them or something. Like he still got the win. And he dominated the fight. But then this was a completely different fight. From top to bottom, the whole fight was completely different. Petr Yan defended almost every takedown. He out-scrambled him a little bit here and there. He got takedowns of his own, and he was working the body. He was doing everything perfectly last night. He was fucking dialed in. He looked absolutely amazing.
What's crazy to me, and I'm going to ask you as a fighter, why doesn't that son of a bitch swell, get red, or bleed? How is that possible? Him and there was another fighter in the card. Peyton Talbott. Nothing happens. They're getting cracked. Yeah. Merab cracked him a few times. Good. No, nothing. Yeah. His face was completely unaffected. That's just straight up genetics, right? Like
some people are just blessed.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean,
he's pale as hell too. It's not like he's like well tanned and he has a darker complexion. He's pale as hell and he still didn't get red.
I very rarely would cut. I think it was cut with Clay Guida. I had a cut on the side of my head, and then Tony Ferguson cut me up in my hairline. But outside of that, man, like I very rarely cut. I mean, I've only had swelling a couple of times. It just happens. It depends. If you're a fucking Nick or Nate Diaz, man, you're cursed.
Yeah. Mateusz Rebecki, he doesn't even just bleed. His eyes swell shut instantly.
I mean, Talbot is just because he's young. There's not enough scar tissue there. He's still young. You know, as you get older and the scar tissue builds up and all the years of sparring and taking damage and taking shots, and that it starts to build up, and it's easier to get cut. You just graze someone's eye at practice, man, and you get cut, you know, as you get scar tissue that build up. Let's go ahead and move on. You got Joshua Van and Pantoja. Obviously, there wasn't much to talk about, but what I want to do is not shit on him. He had nothing. Ooh. Joshua Van. I just saw people going,
people hate his celebration. Dude.
Oh, man, they hated the fact that he was celebrating. Why are you hating on the young man who did all the work that got him into that position? And you should be excited. It wasn't as if like he didn't cause or help cause the elbow or it's actually apparently the shoulder. It looked like the elbow.
No. So here's what happened. Okay. And the only reason I'm going to jump in is because I watched Dana White's post-fight press conference where he said it's the shoulder, not the elbow. And then Pantoja's team came out and like, no, it's the elbow.
Gotcha.
So, and it looked like the elbow. That was an absurd, like we literally saw it go the wrong direction. But yeah, no, Pantoja's team has come out and clear because I saw a lot of people commenting as well because, I mean, you heard Dana White say it, and he had no reason to not tell the truth. That's just what he was told. But Pantoja did come out and say his team came out and said, no, it is the elbow.
Yeah. It looked exactly like the elbow. It looked like a dislocated elbow. And when I was talking about it last night, I said, in this situation, this is when you're hoping that it's more of a break than it is a tear or a dislocation. Dislocations take so much longer to heal. It could be 6 months. It could be 8 months. He may have to get treatment for his ligaments. He may have to get stem cells. He may have to have surgery. You never know. He could be out for a while. It could be up to a year. Elbows are the worst things to heal because the ligaments they're not as big, they're not as long. They take longer to heal, and it gets real stiff and tight. He's gonna have to loosen it up, move it around. It's gonna be a problem. Elbows are the worst.
And
my brother
35.
My brother dislocated his elbow when he was like 14. To this day, he's like, it never was the same. Never was the same. I couldn't like reach back and like scratch my back, or I couldn't scrub my back. I had to get a scratcher, those things. So it will change the way he probably fights. It will be a little bit if it's something like that. Now, if he did like strain it, but then it broke the bone, then they could put a screw in and they could fix it a lot easier. And then it'll actually be 8 to 10 weeks. It really will only be about that amount of time if he broke it. That's how it works.
I'm no doctor, but like
we know that.
Here's my elbow. This shit went the wrong direction. There's nothing to screw back together. This is supposed to move. There's nothing to screw back together. Like there's just all sorts of stuff is ripped to shreds, pulled out of places. Yeah. Like it's bad. It's not like it didn't break here. You know what I mean? I'm like, really, I can't handle this split screen. It's not like it broke here and it's like, all right, put a metal plate, and we'll get a joint is a major problem. You also have the most important super chat of your live streaming career. If you want to go,
okay. Let me go ahead.
Zeke 6629.
Let me go ahead and show it. Let me go ahead and show it for you. Go right ahead there. Zeke 662. It says, protect at all costs. We need him here. Josh is ready protected. Got it. You guys, I love you, Zeke 662, man. What, you've been a member for a very long time, man. I appreciate you, bud.
6629.
Yeah, 6629. Yeah, I like to cut it short. And then he also had a question earlier that we got to. And thanks for the super chats at $5 a piece. Both of them. Want to thank you. Then in the granite for the $2 super chat earlier. Thank you so much. Random question. Do you think UFC is going to try to sign Gable Steveson? Yes, they will absolutely. They actually already were in conversation with him before he even had his first MMA fight. They were talking to him and his management. He's a freak of an athlete for a heavyweight. He absolutely is. His body style is a little different. He's not a very big heavyweight. He will be one of those hybrid heavyweights. He's explosive. He's fast. He obviously can wrestle. He's going to need to be tested. I think they're going to take him the Bo Nickel route. I'm not sure if they'll put him on Dana White
Contender Series.
But what they will do is they'll sign him, I think, directly to the UFC, and they'll give him some fights that they believe that he can win. They'll match him up with probably a bunch of good wrestlers or decent wrestlers that really don't have a lot of striking, and they'll see what he can do. And they'll probably give him 2 or 3 of those type of fights. And those guys and people that will fight him will say, hell yeah, because they want to get into the UFC. So it's a swim situation for him, but I do believe that he will end up doing
it. So Dana said, I watched the post-fight press conference. Dana said they asked him about Gable Steveson, and he said he was like, yeah, he is on our radar. Like, he was very clear about it. It was the same exact energy that Dana gave when he was talking about Patricio Pitbull. Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, he's definitely somebody we're interested in. And then he was signed a little
Patricio or Pico?
I don't know. No, Pitbull. 100% Pitbull.
Got it.
Yeah, because people kept asking about Pitbull in random press conferences, and Dana would be like, he wouldn't say we're talking to him. He's like, we're interested. Yeah, for sure. And it was the same type energy, but except he was more obvious.
Oh, so, this is getting out of hand right here, buddy.
a dude named there's no Jewish person named Angelo. Somebody named where's the username? Israel Padilla 2008 said, shout out, we want pics, love the content.
Dude, they're awesome, man.
Don't feed into the trolls. You feed.
I love it. I do it just because it's you. And by here, this is the worst news. Even though I'm watching it, I want to thank you guys, man. Casey's losing right now, 10-0. We need this win. Otherwise, we're screwed. It's done. It's over. And then in the granite, another $2. I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and pop you back up there as well. All right, let's get into the Pantoja and Van. I know we went through this already, but let's go ahead and do it again. Like, where do you go from here? Obviously, Pantoja's going to be out for a long
Let me back up. Let me back up.
Go ahead.
So, because the biggest, I don't want to say the elephant in the room, but the controversy, if you will, is Joshua Van's celebration. And I can understand, I see all sides of it, because the dude, did he win the fight? Yeah, technically speaking, yes, but he didn't do anything to win that fight. I wrestled in a match where a kid stood up on me, no takedowns in the first round or period. Second period, I was on top. He stood up. I jacked him up. I brought him down. He braced. His arm broke. I win the match. And that was the difference between me going to the finals. I was probably going to lose to him. That was the difference between me going to the finals of the Keene, New Hampshire tournament and not going to the finals. And I went to the finals. I didn't celebrate at all because I was like, God, like that sucks. But I didn't change my life by going to the finals. So I can understand how watching at home, because I had the exact same, when my vlog comes out, maybe it's in there. I don't edit them because I don't have those skills. But I had the same reaction where I was like, dude, get off you're on the turnbuckle. You're like, dude, chill out. And to me, it wasn't, I didn't have an issue with the fact that he was excited. It was more dude, this dude's arm is facing the wrong direction. Like, just tone it down a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, let's not dance over his grave. But then you zoom out, you let it settle in, and it's like, this is just some young guy that changed his life, potentially generational wealth. At the very least, he's going to get to defend the championship on Paramount. Like, a lot of stuff changed for him with one wild fluke injury. He should be allowed to celebrate, but I do think it was a little excessive. Dude, he was on the turnbuckle like,
you
like
literally
he did
said,
something.
You literally said, like, he's on the turn, and this guy's elbows turn the other way. Bro, guys jump on the turnbuckle all the time when guys are literally stiff and their feet are shaking.
Honestly, like, as insane as it sounds, unconscious is not as crazy as, because unconscious, you wake up a minute later. That elbow's gone. He might literally never fight again. Stop feeding the trolls.
Cool story, Angelo.
You don't know how this works. Stop feeding the trolls.
This is fun. I found the chat section being 58 years old, man.
Well, then go ahead and pin the one about me being the before picture in Ozempic.
I love it. The Ozempic. Have you tried Ozempic yet? I can see that's something you possibly like.
Do I look like I've tried Ozempic?
Yeah.
It's a pretty.
I thought maybe you tried it and you're still just out eating
my body. I am such peak male physical form. My body rejected the Ozempic and said, "We're getting bigger. We're getting bigger, baby."
I thought maybe you were just out eating Ozempic. Its ability, like you were out eating Ozempic's ability to make you lose weight.
So I do know a bunch of people at my real job that are on it. And I'm 6'3". I weighed myself live on my stream the other day. That was a fucking mistake. 268. All right, 268 at the end of the day after eating. Fine. I'm 265. So anyway, 60. Like, I could definitely lose some weight because it's also not like, there's some muscles here, but it's not what it used to be. I'll toss you around, no problem. It won't be an issue.
Okay,
let's start 50-50 and see what happens.
6'3", 275. Go ahead. Bulky, look at right here. Kevin from Chicago, 7635. Bulk season. I'll go ahead and say that first. That's Angelo. He's in bulk season right now.
It's the winter.
It is the winter. So,
but I asked some people about it, and they're like, basically, it just starves you to death. And I was like, dude, I eat when I'm not hungry. I just eat to eat because there's food there. That hunger isn't the issue. Just impulses.
Well, look, cover big bet or whatever. Like, he's not 5'8", 268. He's 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", 268. He's not a small guy. Like, if I had to match up him and the other influencer guy, the fat one with the beard that everyone talks about,
Guru.
I know you like him. I don't know anything about him.
I appreciate the work he puts.
He's a little over the top, but I will say this: I would pick you, Angelo. You can wrestle. You're a sandbagging blue belt in jiu-jitsu.
I was just saying, 25 years I've been doing this shit.
Yeah,
I would hope I get picked.
I would pick you, but I thought he trained. Doesn't he train? I believe someone said he trains jiu-jitsu.
No, I don't think he trains. I think he's just. I think he's just
a big guy.
Way bigger. I think we're about probably the same size. I think he's just way bigger than people thought. People thought he was in a wheelchair. Like, I think he's just way bigger than people thought. So when they're like, "Oh, he's like big and not a slob," then it just went, it went.
Yeah, because
they overcorrected.
Got to be honest, right? His overexposure of the camera, his beanie, and the scruffy beard.
He's a round face, which makes you look fatter than you are.
Yeah, he does look like someone that lives in his mom's basement. Just talks hellish shit, right? And doesn't look like he showered in a couple of weeks. You're like, what the fuck?
I just watched. We're so far off topic. I did just watch like a 25-minute video. I forget the name of the channel. That just said like the rise of MMA Guru, and I watched it. It was like 25 minutes. I got a Hayabusa punching bag, and I was literally just stuffing it with old clothes while watching that video. And it went through the full history. You should watch it because you would appreciate being an OG, just a fighter, and like doing this.
Send me the link afterwards. I'm interested in watching to see kind of where he came.
Well, it wasn't just him. That's what was cool about it. It started with Sherdog, and then MMA Underground, and then where Luke Thomas came into play, then how Ariel Helwani showed up, and it just talked through the evolution of what MMA media is, and then obviously then it focused on him and all that. But it's a really cool piece.
Nice. Yeah. Send me the link if you have it. Just send me the link. I'll take a look at it. I'd like to see something like that. That's cool.
So what were your thoughts? Yeah, I'll get you back on track.
I was about to get you back on track.
What were your thoughts on what were your thoughts on the co-main? Like, there wasn't enough fight to give a shit. It was 23 seconds.
But no, my thoughts were this. I saw people going, man, I hate the celebration. What's he celebrating for? He didn't win the title. No, he literally did win the title. He caused that to happen. Now, yeah, sure, Pantoja put his arm down. It happens, man. It's happened in wrestling in high school. It's happening when people ski. Shit, it happened to me when I fought Benson Henderson, but it happened to me with my thumb. Basically, call it like skier's thumb. It dislocated and broke my thumb in a bunch of different places. And I could see my thumb. Big John will attest to this because he was the ref. It literally pushed the thumb. My thumbnail was all the way back into my wrist. So it looked like an uncircumcised penis, really, is what my thumb did. It was like just the nail was sticking out from the top, as you could see. And that's it. It was all wrinkled, just skin. And that's exactly what we saw last night. You saw him. It looked like it dislocated and it shifted over. The bones shifted over each other. Probably something broke, I would imagine, or at least fractured. So he's gonna have a long recovery. I'd say at least 6 months, at least. Oh, and then yeah. I'm thinking more 9 months, to be honest, because the elbow is very fickle.
For a year.
It's very stiff. It's gonna be very hard. Anytime someone grabs a Kimura, it's gonna be like, oh, wait. Like it's gonna be one of those type situations. Kimuras, arm bars, straight arm bars, all of those things will have an effect. He's gonna need full time to recover, especially at what, 35 years old?
He's 35 at a little guy weight class. And you know how it goes. Like, even if you throw a really hard jab or a really hard straight right and it hits nothing, hitting something is actually good for your body mechanics. You were prepared to hit something, it hit something and it stopped. If you hit nothing, it hyperextend. Like it's
I wouldn't go as far as say it's good.
But you get my point. Like, it
is better than missing.
Yeah, if you hit nothing in a straight, a hook is a hook. But if you throw straight and hit nothing, that is not good for your elbow.
Yeah.
And like, I just, at his age, the way that happened, the way it looked, it sucks for Pantoja because he was on his way to being arguably the best 125 pounder of all time. Statistically speaking, nobody will ever be better than DJ. But once you factor in competition, I have 3 talking points here. 1, what do you do next matchup wise for Van? Okay. Dana White basically already said, Dana White's like, he's going to defend, if Joshua Van will defend that belt before Pantoja back. He already said it. 2, what the hell was 2? We'll go to 3 because I can't remember 2. 3.
Can't you just make 3 too? Like,
nope, because I'll think of it. 3 is I got it. 2, do you think that should be a no contest or something other than, I agree, but it's an open discussion because a lot of people feel that way. And 3, Demetrius Johnson basically celebrated it, saying, "Oh, my record's still intact."
I mean, I get it. That's like that's like what the 72 Dolphins. They celebrate every year when the last undefeated
team, you didn't win a Super Bowl, so
loses. It doesn't matter. You didn't win the Super Bowl. When the Patriots, when they lost in the Super Bowl, they were all cracking it open. I mean, I think almost of them all passed. There's only like 1 or 2 of them left, I believe. There's not many of the 72 Dolphins left. No, you do not make it a no contest. It was legit. He was the reason why that happened. He caught the kick, elevated, took him off balance. He went to post and dislocated the elbow.
It wasn't an accident.
Yeah, that's no different than that's no different than it when Anderson Silva or Chris Weidman kicked each other and their legs broke. That's no different. Like, hey, I did something and it affected how your body reacted. So no, Joshua Van will have to defend the title. There's no way that Pantoja comes back for 6 to 8 months and he fully recovered and ready to fight. And I think what you do with him from here is, I think you take him. Tatsuro Taira to me is the guy, but isn't it Brandon? Is it Brandon Royval and Manal Kopp? Are they fighting next?
Yeah. They are fighting next, but Dana also in the post-fight press conferences are interesting because Dana's typically like, I don't talk, we discuss these on Tuesdays. I don't talk matchups. And then in this post-fight press conference, he was like, yeah, we're looking to get back to Japan. Probably Tatsuro Taira versus Josh Van. Yeah. So they're probably going to do that. But Tatsuro Taira just lost 2 fights ago. And he's on an interesting run because, and it's its own controversy. We'll get to that fight in a minute. But he lost to Brandon Royval. Then he beats Alex Perez, but he lost the first round on the judges' scorecards, officially lost. And the only reason he won that fight is because Alex Perez had a knee injury. His knee exploded, and he was on top. Now, obviously, the Brandon Moreno fight was much better performance. He did well, but kind of an early stoppage. So he's got 3 sort of interesting fights in a row, and he's a shoo-in for the next title shot.
Well, let me explain to you guys this way. There was some sort of negotiation between Ryzen and Japan, basically to get Horiguchi over with the UFC. So their relationship is probably doing pretty well right now because Horiguchi is now back in the UFC. They've had Tatsuro Taira. Who was the other Japanese fighter that came over? The one
I don't know.
Mainly a kickboxer, kind of tall, long, lanky, got taken down and dominated. Oh man, gosh. Anyways,
I can't wait for you to say somebody who's not Japanese.
No, and he was the Ryzen champion, I believe. I think he was the one that knocked out Patricio Pitbull when they fought over there.
Oh, you're talking about the dude Pantoja ran through? Kaya Sakura?
Yeah, Kaya Sakura. Yeah. So anyways, in this position, like Taira is the guy I think they're going to try to head over to Japan. Like Dana said, we don't have anything written yet. We haven't scheduled anything, but that's obviously something we want to try to do. They haven't been there for a while. They know the market is there. They also know that Ryzen's doing pretty well over there. Their numbers are huge for Japanese. Yes. Huge.
I thought they don't pay people and it's like a catastrophe.
Am
I confusing them with One FC?
You might be confusing them with one.
Yeah.
But I do know that they are doing really well, but they're also just building up their Japanese fighters. They're making sure that a lot of the almost the whole card is just all Japanese fighters. So of course people are turning out. When we were out there for Bellator, that Saitama Arena was sold out, packed. It was packed, insane. So there's a market there for them. And you come with Horiguchi and you come with Taira, you come with Asakura, and you have them fight some of the top guys in the UFC. That thing is going to be fucking rocking. I mean, they're very quiet when they're watching the fights, but you understand what I'm trying to say. It's going to be packed. It's going to be sold out. It's going to be a huge event for the UFC, for the fighters, and for Japan. So I'm excited to see how this works out. I think it will be Taira. I'm not sure if it'll be Taira next though. I
think it is.
You think so? And I'm not opposed to that.
Dana was basically like, we're looking at like he didn't shut it down. He wasn't like, let's see. He was like, probably. Yeah. Because it's another weird division because you can't do Brandon Royval next. Although him and Josh Van had an all-time banger of a fight so that you could run that back. It could be fun, but they won't do that because they know Royval will just be around.
Yeah.
And Manel Kopp, while he is exciting, he can also be boring and awful. He's not always exciting because he's a counter striker and he's just waiting to be accurate. So sometimes he'll just end up in a staring contest and not engage.
Yeah, there's a lot of like the showboating going around. He lands a shot, does like the funking around, and like it drives me absolutely insane. It does, it really does. But he's so talented. The other thing with him though, he doesn't fight very often.
Cop?
Yeah, like when's the last time he fought?
He beat the piss out of a Sue Almabaya, but I don't remember, but he and actually I think he was the problem. He was supposed to fight Brandon Royval at UFC 317. So now they booked him for this.
That's right. Look, Taira, I think I like the idea of him being next. Can they get the promotion set up in Japan in that amount of time? Will it be like an April or May type promotion? That's the best time to go to Japan. It's not too humid. It's not too hot. Perfect time of the year to arrive in Japan to do an event there. So that'll be exciting if they can get that together. What was your thoughts on Taira versus Brandon Moreno?
I thought people skewered me for this. The first round was interesting. So let's focus only on the first round, then we'll talk about what was definitely an early stoppage. In the first round, Tatsuro Taira initiated the takedown. Brandon Moreno ends up on top. He's in mount, basically, but his leg is over the arm. So then he rolls to a triangle. We get typical Joe Rogan. I know you're friends with Joe in real life.
Look, I don't listen to the fights because I was alive last night, so I couldn't hear anything.
Listen. As an OG MMA fan, I have seen every event ever. I used to watch it on my cousin's D-Scrambler back in the day before, I made my own money to pay for it. And as that type of fan that's been here for a long time, what Joe has done for the sport, his advocacy for the sport, and just hearing his voice is like very nostalgic for me. But like, Jesus, dude. In that fight, if you remember the triangle, I assume you remember the triangle.
The whole first round.
I could put my whole arm through the hole between his neck and the inside of the knee. Like there was air coming through that. You could see through it. And Joe Rogan's like, it's close. It's right there. It's tight. It's like, dude, this is not tight. But in that position, and I'm going to ask you a question right now. Who would you have rather been? Would you have rather been in the first round? Would you have rather been Brandon Moreno with the locked in triangle, loose but locked in, or would you rather be Tatsuro Taira on top but stuck in a triangle for 4 minutes of a 5-minute round?
You're asking the former fighter.
Yeah. Who would you rather be?
I would have rather have been Tatsuro Taira.
And that's how the judges saw it. And I was a little surprised because I thought we were past the era of just being in a control position wins you a round, because only one person in that round was close to winning the fight. And although you could see air through it, and that wasn't a very tight triangle, Brandon Moreno was objectively closer to finishing the fight in the first round than Tatsuro Taira was. Ultimately didn't matter, but I did have a problem with how they scored that.
Oh, so they gave it to...
Two judges gave the first round to Taira. Two judges gave just the first round to Taira. Second round didn't get scored, obviously.
Yeah. Interesting. I didn't know that.
One judge looked at it and was like, all right, well, this guy ended up on top with a failed takedown attempt and then threw in a triangle. But obviously then we end up in the second round. Tatsuro Taira is doing well. He's had his back. He's landing clean shots. He's dominating. I thought Mark Smith stopped it early. The commentating team stopped it early, thought it stopped early. I think most people felt that way. I don't know if anything would have changed, meaning if he didn't stop the fight. It's not like there was 10 seconds left. There was a lot of time left. I don't know if anything would have changed, but you have former world champion Brandon Moreno, Mexican Brandon Moreno, known for their toughness, Brandon Moreno, like somebody who's been out there, done all the things, and you just got to let him get the shit kicked out of him. You really just got to let him get the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah, and I said I was very adamant about this last night. When you are watching a former champion, you need to understand what he's been through in the past. And refs, that they need to do their job. They have to do their due diligence to make sure. And I've had this conversation with Big John. I had it with Mike Beltran. I've had it with Jason Herzog. They do research on the guys that they get. Like as soon as they get their roll call, like the day of, and like, hey, this is who I'm reffing today. They get online and they start looking at, okay, how many fights has he had recently? How was his finishes? If Brandon Moreno had been viciously knocked out his fight before, I could understand them going, okay, look, he's can't take too much more of this. Let's give the stoppage now. That's not the case. Brandon Moreno is a dog through and through. He fights his way through this. He's a former champion, defended the title multiple times. Like, you need to give this guy his due. What are we holding him back for? It's not like he's got a guy that's, 22 years old trying to make a run at the title. No, he's won the title, lost the title. Now just lingering at number one, number two. Give him his chance. We know how good he is. As a ref, you need to know how damn good he is. And they need, I was very disappointed in the stoppage. Very disappointed in the stoppage. You take a look at Brandon Moreno's legwork and all the things that he's done over the years. He's fantastic, man. He's been in worse problems. He's been rocked. He's been hurt. He's dug deep. He's bit down on his mouthpiece. He's done everything he needed to do to get back on top and win titles, lose titles, do whatever. But he has been that guy through and through. It was. I don't want to say it's a horrible stoppage.
No, there's been worse.
But
because he was in a bad position.
He was. Oh yeah, he was flattened out, taking some big shots.
And I honestly don't. I don't necessarily think Moreno was going to get through that. Like, do you think? I mean, there was a lot of time left. Do you think? If
what was there, like Smith, 2.5 minutes left?
It was enough time that it wasn't like, if Mark Smith doesn't stop that, do you think Brandon works his way out? I don't know if he does.
We'll never know. We'll never know.
And that's the point. So, because and if I'm not Big John, and if he was here,
we know that.
If he was here, I would assume he would say the refs are there for the fighter's safety and better too early than too late. And I understand that point, but at the same time, no.
Big John, you are mainly right about that. But he would say that for prelim fighters. He would say that for young guys coming up. He will not say that for a former champion, someone who is, like you said, Mexican heritage, like dog, like just been known to get through the hard times. Brandon Moreno was one of the most exciting fighters at one point in his career. And we loved watching him just bite down the mouthpiece and get after it. His fights with Davison Figueiredo. Yeah, the great fights, man. Great fights. I mean, one of them was a little slow, but you understand what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
I thought it was an early stoppage. I'm not going to go ahead and say too much more after that because we never know what's going to happen after that. We don't know if he would have escaped. We don't. I looked at it and I go, maybe he would have, maybe not. You never know. Maybe he postured up too much and that gave space for him to move and get out. But he was still in a very shitty position. It was absolutely horrible. And
with a lot of time left. It's not like it was 30 seconds. Just deal with it. He'll be fine. Yeah.
He had 250 something left or 240 something left. I think something like that. 260 something. Anyways, that being said, the way he got flattened out and the way that Taira was like, looked physically like just dominant, like control, like flat. Because he flattened him out one time and then Moreno rolled and then he got flattened out again. And I was like, ooh, that was really easy.
His control's great.
That looked nasty. And I was like, oh man, that's the control. And then his shots were really hard too. You could hear the thud of Taira, you know? And I mean, like, I went back because I had to went back and watch, like, did I hear something? Was there a verbal like tap? Was there? Because I wanted to go back and listen to it before. No. And you could hear the thuds of the shots that he was landing. They were nasty. They were absolutely nasty. So I think we're both in agreement that Taira is going to end up fighting probably Joshua Van next. If they can get that whole setup for Japan. If it won't be him, it might be the winner of Kopp and Royval. You can't go wrong, I think, with Royval and Van again fighting for the title. But this time it'll be for the title. You can't go wrong with that. The UFC would love to probably remake that fight. So, but then when you got Peyton Talbot, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I don't think if Royval has a Brandon Royval fight against Manel Kopp, he might be able to leapfrog. But what Royval doesn't have going for him is an entire country behind him. You're going to get a Japanese guy because they basically were like, we're going to do this in Japan.
Yeah.
We don't, because Myanmar's, Joshua Van's from Myanmar. Myanmar's Asian. He's the first ever Asian-born UFC champion. So they're going to go Asia heavy. So they're going to go that route.
No, it would make sense. It would 100% make sense. We get to remember is the UFC was built off of the fact that they take guys that are from other countries and they build up one or two of those guys. You got Michael Bisping, you got George St. Pierre, you have Tom Aspinall right now. You had Roy McDonald. Obviously Volkanovski, like New Zealand from Izzy. They take guys from countries because they know that fan base only cares about their fighters. If you do that with Americans don't give a shit. They'll probably pick the Irish fighter over the American fighter.
Americans don't care till they're fighting a Russian, and then you get USA chants all through the bitch, like that woman on the Thanksgiving with the mac and cheese all through the bitch.
It's thing. True, man. They don't give a fuck until they're fighting a Russian or a fucking Dagestani. They're like,
USA, baby,
USA, baby, USA. You're like, what the fuck? Oh, they're wild. We got Zeke 662, man. I'm going to throw this up there for you real quick, man. It says right here, Zeke 662, Brandon Moreno dances around too much. You time him right. You can clip him. Yeah, you can. That's what everyone said about Dominic Cruz for fucking 10 years. Dude, barely. It wasn't until he got old and slowed down.
Cheeto timed him right.
Yeah, until you time him right. But he was fucking 38 years old. What are you talking about timing right? Yeah, those guys are not easy to time. Thank you for the super chat, though, Zeke6629. The $5 super chat. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
Put this Escatofio.
There we go. Escatofio. It's Alejandro Gutierrez, by the way. Same guy that we've had forever. One of our longtime listeners. Appreciate you. Go ahead, buddy. Why don't you read that?
No, he's right. I didn't even think of Weili, but I didn't make up that stat. I was regurgitating what the UFC broadcast said. So they must have been specifying men's weight classes, but because Weili obviously was born in China and the champion before Josh Van. So they must have been talking men's only, but they didn't specify men. So good point.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I don't listen to it because you can't have it while it's playing in the background.
They said two things: second youngest champ ever, obviously first youngest John Jones, and they said first Asian born UFC champion.
Yeah,
and they're clearly wrong.
I read a stat this morning. It said Joshua Van is the youngest fighter to hit 1,000 significant strikes.
He's going to be the youngest fighter to end up in a wheelchair, drooling on himself too. That dude absorbs 8 significant strikes a minute.
Alejandro Gutierrez, thanks, man, for the $5 super chat. Appreciate it. Weili is the first Asian champ. Angelo, laugh out loud stirring the pot.
I'm Googling where was Weili Zhang born, just in case.
She was definitely born in China. Definitely.
I assume so.
Definitely
but
born
who knows?
All right, let's get Peyton Talbott versus Henry Cejudo. Give me your recap on this. What did you think of Henry's performance? People talk about, oh, it's my last fight. I'm gonna go out on my shield. This dude did. He didn't go out. He didn't go out on his shield, but he fought to try to go out on his shield. And just Peyton Talbott couldn't get him out of there. But I thought, Henry, man, thanks, man. Thank you for everything. Thank you for the years of watching you fight, man. I know you're a little cringe on the mic, but guess what? I still love watching you inside the cage. You are a fantastic athlete, one of the best to ever do it. 2-division champion, and you defended both titles. Let's not forget that. Defended both titles against guys who many thought were like the GOATs at the time.
He beat 2 divisional GOATs.
Yep.
He beat Dominic Cruz and he beat Demetrius Johnson. He beat 2 different divisional GOATs when they were good.
Yeah.
Henry Cejudo doesn't get enough credit because he left when, I don't know what percentage, I'm going to make up a number, when 30% of MMA fans showed up because lockdown happened and UFC was the first sport back, or the only sport back for a while. And that's when it really blew up. That's when the YouTube content blew up for a lot of MMA channels. That's when the actual sport and the viewership as a whole blew up. So a lot of big things happened during lockdown, and that's when Henry Cejudo was gone. Yeah. He walked away during A, the prime of his career, but B, the I'm not gonna say the prime of the sport, because I think it is growing exponentially, like consistently, but he left during a very crucial time to not have been gone. And so a lot of people don't know how good Henry Cejudo is. They just hear how good he was. Yeah. And then they've seen him lose 4 in a row, and then now that's it. But the reality is Henry Cejudo was very good. He beat the greatest of all time 125-pounder. Then he moved up, beat the greatest of all time 135-pounder, defended those, and left. And he left for a contract negotiation, a contract dispute. And then now, so obviously the Peyton Talbott fight, he fought his ass off. He's just old and slower, and the wrestling doesn't translate when you're old and slower. And Peyton Talbott's tremendous and athletic, zesty. And what was interesting, though,
you had to throw that in there.
You have to. What's interesting, though, is what's going viral is 2 different things. One, wow, Henry's tougher than I thought he was, and that's mostly from people who didn't see him fight before. Yeah. And 2, when he was literally on his knees after the fight, talking to Dana White through the cage, asking for a bonus. And that's going viral with people being like, you have people on their knees begging for money. What is going on in this sport? And it's not a great look. I'm not blaming Henry. It's not a great look for the UFC.
Oh no, it's absolutely not Henry's fault. But I mean, didn't Dana say something? Because I was trying to read it, but obviously I don't read very fast. And so he goes, didn't he say, "Oh, I planned on getting you"? Or you already are shooing, or he said something.
He said something like that. It was something
like you were already going to get the bonus or something like that. Like, I mean, hey, look, however you guys want to feel about him, he has been one of the most exciting fighters in that 125-pound division. When it needed a shot in the arm, he brought it, and then he did what he said he was going to do. TJ Dillashaw comes down, makes the weight. They fight. He finishes TJ Dillashaw. Then he goes up and wins the title at 135 pounds. I don't want to overlook the fact that he got his ass kicked for 2 rounds against Marlon Moraes. And in the 3rd round, he said, fuck this. He bit down on the mouthpiece and he fought exactly how he fought last night against Peyton Talbott. And he fucking finishes Marlon Moraes and wins the title. The vacant title because TJ with the doping and all the other stuff. Then he goes out and beats Dominic Cruz, who to me is still at the GOAT status at 135 pounds. I haven't.
Yeah, Merab losing last night. Definitely made it a little like.
Yeah, and I had last night's fight 4-1. I had it 4 rounds to 1.
And Dominic beat DJ.
Yeah.
So it's
and so Henry's got, like you said, 2 wins over 2 people that they think are GOATs. Like they're GOAT of the division or the GOAT. DJ's on the GOAT list of like
all of MMA. Yeah,
it's like Mount Rushmore's GOAT. Yeah. I don't have him there, but people do, and I'm not against DJ. I'm like, hey man, just the level of competition to me at the time was not what it is now at 125, and I know it'll never be like that. That's the argument to be had for ages. But simply put, Henry Cejudo, fought a damn good fight. Fighters talk all the time. I'm going to lay it on the line. I know I'm retired. This is it for sure. And I'm just going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then they don't do it. And he did it last night. He did what he said he was going to do. I'm going to go out there and have fun. I'm going to actually go ahead and just let it all hang out. Give the guy his credit, man. Give the guy his credit. And give Peyton Talbott his credit. Sadly, his win over Henry's being overlooked by, the conversation between him and Dana, and also too that it's Henry's retirement fight. But Peyton Talbot showed a lot last night. He didn't get fatigued. He didn't get tired. He took some shots. He gave some shots. He looked fantastic. He looked
takedowns, defended takedowns.
Yep, he looked fantastic. He stuffed a couple takedowns too, by the way.
Yeah,
he looked good. So I have high hopes for him at 135 pounds. Are you thinking you book him right now for Corey Sandhagen? Or is it too soon?
That's technically he is ranked 10 in the world now.
Yeah.
Because he beat the number 10 guy in Henry Cejudo. So
he'll be ranked around there, 10, 11, something like that. He's young, so I think
you literally take the ranking of the person you beat. Isn't that how it works?
No, that's not how it goes.
Are we sure?
Yeah, because there's guys that look, if I beat somebody who just lost to another guy, that other guy that just beat him is going to be ranked higher. Or it's something like it's not going to happen that way. So the majority of the time, it will start to it kind of does happen like that. But you're still get some times where two guys that have had 2 wins in that year, they're going to actually move ahead of you just by 1-2 spots. You're going to be ranked though in that area though. I would imagine he beat number 10. He'll probably be ranked 10 or 11.
Well, and what I like about Peyton Talbot is he's just his own person. He doesn't care about anybody. He doesn't care about anything. He doesn't care about opinions. He's just his own person. Mm-hmm. And I like that about him because we're in a weird MMA era where we're starting to get out of it, but we're in the era where Conor McGregor showed everybody, if you just say wild shit and you say it loud, you'll get what you want. And everybody tried that. And now we're finally getting back to people just being themselves. So I like Peyton Talbot for just being who he is. He's not pretending to be somebody. He's not pretending to be straight. He's just out there putting on a show. Like in that fight, he was landing strikes. He was shooting takedowns. He was defending takedowns. He was talking about getting DMs from celebrities. And he was like, that live streaming is stupid. I don't give a shit about that. And I just appreciate Peyton Talbot just having so much self-confidence that he's like, I'm going to do me. I don't give a shit. You guys want to hate on me that I lost to Hani Barcelos? I really don't care at all because I know the work I put in. I'll be fine. And then he came back. Turns out he is fine. So Peyton Talbot's good. And I think Peyton Talbot put on a masterclass of how you fight a legend to the best of your ability and keep all the fans. Oh, yeah. And look at this.
There you go.
Fitting.
Go ahead, read it.
From Zeke6629, $4.99 super chat. Do you think Talbot let off a little bit to not knock Henry out so he can finish the fight? They did train together. I don't know if he did it consciously. I don't know if fighters actually think about that, but it did feel like Peyton went from I have to win to I'm just out here living my best life. I'm going to have a good time.
Yeah. I mean, look, even though you train with people, that thought does go through your mind, I think, sometimes.
Sure. I have respect for the guy.
Yeah, after I fought Yves Edwards, I went and helped him train for a couple of his Pride fights right after that. Flew out to Houston, trained with him a little bit. I trained with Pat Healy so many times.
That was different, though.
Why?
Because he beat the shit out of you.
No, I was winning the fight. He landed one shot in that whole fight. It just so happened to be the one that fucking finished the fight. You fucking douchebag. Drink some more wine. Drink some more wine, fatty. Oh shit.
Oh god, now we're getting okay. Wow. Now we're getting a little nasty.
Turn sideways for us so we can see that schnoz also.
I will. Okay, so now we're getting.
I had you turn sideways so we could see the triple chin too, but I love it, bro. You got some really deep dimples.
Well, when there's a lot of fucking,
there's a lot of skin around it, a lot of tissue in there for it to be. I didn't know how I felt about Peyton Talbot when he first came onto the scene. I'm like, I don't know. Let's see if he can do what he can do. And they lost to Barcelos, and I'm like, ooh, maybe it's maybe fraud check. No, it's not a fraud check. He just had a bad night, bad performance.
Yeah, but Hani was like 40.
I know he looks good. He looked good last night.
Very.
Now here, let me shift gears into this. Rob Font and him, I don't want to give him Corey Sandhagen. Corey's too good on the ground. Corey's got good takedown defense, and Corey is a way better striker than him. Even though he looked good against Henry, he got hit with some shots by Henry. Corey, I think right now, at this moment in his career, not forever, I'm not speaking forever, I'm talking about at this moment in his career, I think he pieces him up. Rob Font, though, older guy, mainly boxing, not a lot of kicks. Okay, wrestling takedown defense, not great. Has good power. The two of them, I think, would make for a fantastic fight. Or Chito Vera, but I lean more towards Rob Font.
I like both those matchups because Rob Font has become like the let's see how good you are of the division, right? He's the measuring stick of the division. So I could see a Rob Font matchup. Like, all right, Rob's good. He's got high level experience. Let's just see if Peyton's good or not. I think Peyton does beat Rob Font because Rob Font does lack in certain areas. I do like the Chito matchup. Chito's on an unfortunate little run here, but it's his own fault. Chito gets in there, has success, almost knocks people out cold, decides to do nothing with that information, just stands there while you're rocked, and then just lets you recover and then lose the decision and act surprised. I don't hate Chito versus Peyton Talbott because if Chito can't beat Peyton Talbott, then all right, you're out of the, you're unranked at this point then.
Yeah.
And if he can beat Peyton Talbott, it's like, all right, no big deal. Peyton, you're young. You lost to a highly ranked former world title contender. Not a big deal. We'll get you back on the win track.
Yeah, there's a little like, not probably from Peyton Talbott's side, and really probably not even from Chito's side, but there's a little bit of that Southern California. There's some drama going on between friendships and local friendships in there. So I could see that fight eventually maybe taking place here real soon.
Is there drama between the two of them?
Yeah, Chito used to train at Ruka, and then, and then Ruka was, that gym shut down. Then he went to Jackson, and then the guy who owned Ruka now owns another gym. And then that's where Peyton Talbott trains. And it's just a very and so they're kind of, their inner circles kind of know each other. And there's a little bit of a rift, I think, kind of in that mix somewhat. In the gym world, and so I can see that fight coming about, but I actually lean more towards the Rob Font fight just for him right now. That's where I'm at with him on that.
And I imagine the UFC is going to give him, I was surprised they gave him Henry Cejudo, but I guess in my opinion, they gave him Henry because Henry makes a fortune. And they were like, all right, well, I'm going to spend all this money on a dude on a 3-fight losing streak. I'm going to get my money's worth. So we're going to build up the next generation. But now that it's just Peyton, I assume they'll give him a fight that he can win and continue to build. And Rob Font's a little closer to that than Chito is.
Do you just hear yourself? You said, Henry makes a fortune, but yet he's on his knees begging for 50 grand.
But two things can be true at the same time. He's a former world champion. He's got to be making a couple $100,000 for a fight.
That's a fortune. Do you understand what that word means? Do you know, I don't
There's
think that
fighters
word
on this card making 10 and 10.
Don't think that word means what you think it means.
There are fighters on this exact same card that make 10 and 10.
Let's not compare. We're not trying to compare. You said he makes a fortune. That is not a fortune, buddy.
Does Henry Cejudo make?
It'll probably list, I think, around 800,000.
He made $1.2 million at UFC 249.
249. 249. We're at 3 something.
Yeah, I mean, what do
you think he made? I think he made around 500 last night.
And that's not a fortune?
Okay, but he's not going to fight ever again. That's going to last him until he's gone.
And my point is, the UFC was like, we're going to pay a shit ton. He might be was he the highest paid person on that card? Probably not with Merab being champ, but probably it's close. He's the second highest if he's not. So they're like, we're going to spend all this money.
He's got 2 titles and he's got an Olympic gold medal.
He doesn't have any of that right now. Well, the medal,
you know what I mean? He's won 2. Come on, man. Give the guy some. All right. Peyton Talbott, what do you do with him?
I don't hate your Rob Font matchup. I think the UFC gives him somebody that he can beat.
Glad we agree. Glad we agree. Daja Call, it says right here, give Peyton Talbott, Chito Vera should be good. Corey, meh. I mean, I would agree with that. Like I'm not on the Corey bandwagon. I just had people telling me they'd like to see the Corey fight. Let's slow play him. He's young. He's got a good look to him. He's marketable. you can do something with him. Obviously, they know that, and that's why they fast tracked him to the rankings right now. They picked somebody and they said, "Hey, Henry, will you take this fight?" And Henry's like, "Yeah, sign me up. I got it. No problem."
Yeah.
So, good on Henry for doing that. He's building the kid up on his way out. He thought maybe if he got the win, cool, but he didn't get the win. Okay, now Peyton's going to go ahead and build his career off of Henry Cejudo. Now, who else can he do it against? I think the best step would be Rob Font. Then I think you go to Chito Vera because Chito's got the win over Rob Font. I give him Rob Font first, then I go Chito Vera, then I go to probably Corey or somewhere around that. You try to give him the stand-up guys in that division. I mean, you could maybe even go to, instead of stay away from Corey Sandhagen, you could probably give him somebody like a Batista to see if he can wrestle, or a David Martinez.
I think Batista's too
wrestling.
Batista's too good and not popular enough.
Yeah, that's true. I also would keep him away from David Martinez after watching the way he checks kicks last night. Henry landed some nasty kicks. David Martinez got some of the nastiest kicks in the game, especially at 135 pounds. So that's where I'm at on this. Alejandro Gutierrez, missed opportunity. O'Malley versus Cejudo in Arizona. I don't think that fight would have been a good fight.
Oh, it is a missed opportunity though, because
it is.
It's a winnable fight for Sean O'Malley at this point in their careers. And they've got beef, very public beef, clip after clip after clip that you could use to promote that fight. I agree. Obviously, they used Henry to build up Peyton, and maybe that pays off dividends. I wouldn't have minded Henry versus, as a featured fight or a co-main on something. Henry versus Sean O'Malley. I wouldn't have minded that.
See, you guys want the Sean O'Malley fight and that whole thing. I wanted the Brandon Moreno versus Henry Cejudo. I wanted that fight because there's beef between them.
I didn't know there was beef.
Oh, yeah. He trained. Brandon Moreno used to live at his house.
Does Henry have beef with everybody? This is crazy.
No, I think just those two. But Brandon Moreno, he used to live at his house. He used to train him, all these things. And then something happened. I don't know what happened.
Henry owned a gym or before that?
I'm not sure.
Was Brandon training at Henry's gym, and that's why he was staying at his house?
I'm not sure. Couldn't tell you. I believe it was maybe when Henry first opened his gym and Henry was helping him train. And then shortly after that, Brandon said some things about him apparently, and then that's when Henry started training Figgy, and then that's when Figgy and Brandon were fighting. So yeah, I mean, look, however you want to call it, missed opportunity or not, but I think that's right off into the sunset, Henry Cejudo, and then now you've got Peyton Talbott, who there's plenty of matchups for him though, which is going to be great for us because he's young.
Here's what happened. Do you want me to explain it to you?
Yeah, please. Like I'm a 5-year-old.
No, Google AI is explaining to me like I'm 5. Moreno and Cejudo were friends, but things took an awkward turn after season 24 of The Ultimate Fighter, on which Henry Cejudo coached alongside Joseph Benavidez. Moreno ended up on Benavidez's team because Henry Cejudo opted to pick Alexandre Pantoja first. So he didn't pick his friend, and so his friend said, "I hate you."
But
makes sense. Makes sense.
Josh, they squashed their beef at the pre-presser. That's good for them. But I thought Henry had also said hey, if there's one fighter that I would come out of retirement for, maybe it would be that fight. That's also what he said. So, yep. Alejandro Gutierrez. Let's go ahead and talk Chris Duncan. Oh, sorry. My bad. Jan Blachowicz and Bogdan Guskov. How did you score this fight? Because I scored it exactly how the judges scored it, and I was getting ragged on in my comment section. They're like, "Oh, it's not a 10-8 round, no fucking way," and and I was like, I thought for sure it was clean cut 10-8. I said I could see it being a 10-9, but I thought it was clean cut at 10-8. He dropped him early, dominated the top position, cut him open, made a former champion say, "Ouch." Okay, and then in the third round, John did very similar to what he did, except he did it too late. Drops Guskov at the end of the fight. Not enough sample size and enough damage throughout that last 10 seconds, to do what he did to get a 10-8 round. But it all came down to the first round on how you scored that first round is what I thought. And sure enough, I said this fight will be a draw, and it came out as a draw. And I could tell as soon as Bruce Buffer talked to Jason Herzog. What was this?
I was animating the big scorecard.
Oh, no. As
it's
soon as
physically larger, if it feels like, for a split or a draw.
As soon as Bruce Buffer talked to Jason Herzog, you could see the look on Bruce Buffer's face, and Herzog go, "Oh!" And then when he was holding their arms, he was holding both of them really firm, like he knew he was going to raise. Sometimes they just let one. You can kind of tell who's going to win. The ref will hold that one firm, and the other one will just kind of dangle. And then
what's funny? Back in the day, they don't do this anymore. Back in the day, I don't know if it was conscious or not, you would always know who would win a split decision by who they announced first.
Yeah.
It would be this judge scores it for fighter A. And they're like, dude, he won. That's always how the splits go. The split decisions don't go that way anymore. But now I'm going to watch, to your point, I'm going to watch their arms and how firmly they're grasping a wrist.
Yeah, I thought it was very weird, though, that they showed Bruce Buffer talking to Jason Herzog, and the look on Bruce Buffer's face was like, yeah, I guess, whatever. Yeah. And so I knew it was a draw right from that moment. I actually called that it was going to be a draw. And so I was like, yeah, it just seemed very weird that they showed them that way, though. But I thought it was a great fight. First round was very boring. Second and third round, great rounds. Great rounds. Sad that it got a late start, but I figured, you have a 42-year-old former champion who's got big power. He looked better than Guskov in the third round. Looked fantastic.
Yeah.
Great job, great cardio, great fight. What was your take on the fight?
I also thought it was a draw. I thought I was perfectly fine with that. So as an old school MMA fan, to get a 10-8 round back in the day, you had to basically kill somebody. Somebody had to be basically dead to get a 10-8 round. But they changed that, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years ago, whenever they did. They adjusted the rules to make it a lot easier to get a 10-8. And according to the new rules where it's easier to get a 10-8, Bogdan Guskov completely dominated the second round. He dropped him. He beat the crap out of him on top. There was not any point in the second round where Jan Blachowicz had any success whatsoever. There was that fake heel hook. That was nothing. Bogdan literally looked at him and smiled, which honestly, that ankle was facing the wrong direction, and Bogdan didn't give a shit, which was kind of crazy. Did you not worry about that?
Yeah, I did. I was like, look, with ankle locks, they're not tight until they're too tight.
He didn't care at all. And it's like,
no,
dude.
Nuh-uh. I mean, good on him, man. But I mean, I don't have that type of courage anymore. You touch my ankles, I'm tapping. I'm like, yeah, don't leave my shit alone.
No, it definitely was. It was an interesting situation where it was fun to watch, and it was an exciting fight because of the second and the third round. I was perfectly fine with the draw. Seemed appropriate to me. I can understand scoring it 29-28 for Jan, though. In no world did Bogdan win the entirety of the fight, though. He just had a really good second round and kept the other ones kind of close.
Yeah, I thought it was a good fight, the second and third round, but, moving on. Manuel Torres, everybody came tonight. Everybody, however many people are watching right now, they all came tonight to get your response on this. This dude did you a solid.
Manuel Torres saved MMA fans across the world from the boring tragedy that was going to be Grant Dawson continuing to win at this level. Grant Dawson is a very good fighter, but objectively a boring fighter. He is so boring that he's just embraced it at this point. They're like, oh, how's this fight going to go? Manuel Torres has never fought past 4 minutes. You know that? He hasn't fought past 4 minutes. And the first 2 minutes of that fight, we're like, oh my God, dude. Grant Dawson managed to make the most exciting dude in this division boring. Mm-hmm. And then Manuel landed. It sucks for Grant Dawson because he actually is a good fighter, just so damn boring. But Manuel landed clean, and that was the end of that. I mean, the two fights that Grant Dawson has lost in the UFC were just both got hit clean and then just shells up, turns over, and that's the end of that. Like, he just bails. He's no thank you. I'm not trying to sort my way through this. That hurt. I'm done.
You have started to get some fans on this channel, buddy. Look at this. They're talking about how, I thought of you when Grant Dawson lost.
Do you know how many
people feel your pain? I think
I railroaded that dude for a couple of weeks, and like nothing personal, literally just only how boring his fights are. I got so many Twitter mentions, just random.
Just random
memes of people celebrating. It was like, this is big ass for Grant Dawson. I wasn't rooting against Grant. I thought Grant was going to win.
Yeah.
But when your entire game plan is let me be as boring as humanly possible, and the only thing your opponent has to worry about, the one and only thing they have to worry about is you trying to be boring and get the fight to the ground. I mean, it was Manuel Torres was like, yeah, nice takedown attempt. No thanks, nerd. I'm here for a fight, not whatever the hell you're trying to do. And he would just push him away and then landed, and that was the end of that.
You had look, I thought it was gonna be a lot closer of a fight. I thought Grand Dawson was gonna take down and kind of control the top position, and then Torres was gonna struggle in rounds 2 and 3. Didn't get to that. Never got to that. Chris Duncan, Terrence McKinney. do we like, if you're gonna bet on Terrence McKinney, just pick first round finish, whether he gets finished or he finishes somebody. Like, just don't even bother. Don't even go in second round. Don't even bother.
You could have arbitraged that. So arbitrage is where you get plus money on both sides. You could have bet Chris Duncan first round, and this isn't truly an arbitrage, but you could have gotten Chris Duncan first round plus money and Terrence McKinney first round plus money, and you would have been fine. My breakdown on that fight was Terrence McKinney is going to beat the absolute piss out of Chris Duncan for 2 minutes, and after that, I don't know what's going to happen. And I mean, it was like a minute 52. Tides turned.
Yeah. This was the last prelim, the feature prelim, and I was able to listen to the sound. And I haven't done this because I told myself I would never do this, because in the early WC days, Frank Mir would always say, the fight's over, it's done, guy's submission, and the guy would get out. Oh, the submission's too tight. It's too tight. There's no way he's done. It's done. And then he would escape. You're like, oh, I thought he was done. So I told myself I would never do that. So I made a point to never do that. But last night, DC is one of the first time I'd ever heard DC stuttering over his words so much. Oh no, Duncan's out. He's no way he's getting out of this. He's done. He's done. He can't even stand up. Then boom, lands a shot. Terrence McKinney, it's over. It's over. And he just kept going back and forth. And I was cracking up because I could understand why. It was hilarious to listen to, but the fight was amazing. These are the type of fights that I think these are the type of fights that are going to make stars on CBS. And these are the type of 100%. Fighters that, even though they may not be ranked, they're going to make it on the CBS cards. They're going to be the opening fight. Terrence McKinney will be watch. One of these nights, he'll end up being a CBS opening fight because that's the way he fights.
I agree. And I hope for Terrence's sake. So, like, listen, there's things you can control in this sport and there's things you can't. You can control your actual skills, right? You just train. You can control your cardio. Just keep running. You cannot control your chin. Terrence McKinney doesn't have any cardio either, but the chin is he can't control his chin. It is what it is. But what I do hope for Terrence McKinney is that
he didn't get knocked out last night.
He got hit hard 3 times and then just like turned his head and was like, yeah, I'm done. Go ahead and finish me.
Submission. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm done here.
I've seen that multiple times by fighters. What they do is they give their neck to get out of the situation. He wasn't thinking about tapping, or didn't look like he was thinking about tapping. He was on all fours taking big shots. I mean, he could have went out, but it was in that position of like, just go ahead, take my neck. Take my neck.
He definitely wanted out. I hope Terrence McKinney, like, listen, there's only, I don't know how many weight classes there are off the top of my head. What, 7, if you include the women? So there's 7 best fighters in the world. And then there's a whole bunch of people that aren't. So most fighters on the roster will never be a world champion, will never fight for a title. I hope Terrence can just accept that and be like, you know what I'm going to be? One of the most exciting fighters on this roster. I'm gonna throw you an argument, because I've had plenty of conversations with guys that could have been world-class fighters. They chose not to. They chose to say, like, no, I'm going to be the most exciting fighter. I'm going to go out there and fight however the fuck I want. And a lot of those guys, some of them know they're never going to be champion. And they just go out there and continue just to collect checks. They're like, I'm in this for the money, man. I'm just going to have exciting fights and try to get as much money as I possibly can. I don't want to take it's funny, but not funny, because they're doing brain damage to themselves. But like, I'm not trying to be the best. I'm trying to be the most exciting. I'm trying to like get the most followers. I'm trying to make the most money. I'm trying to capitalize on this short stint of fame to make as much money as I possibly can. And that's, a lot of fighters have taken that approach. They're like, why do I want to deal with the politics of being in a top 10 ranking where like my life is predicated upon like whether I get a $50,000 bonus, whether I'm in the top 5, whether the UFC likes me or not? Why? I can just fucking fight whoever the fuck I want and have exciting fights and just make, I can fight 5 times a year and make $500,000 beating guys that I know I can beat. There's no reason to not fight them. You had Drew Dober on this show. That was literally what Drew Dober's mentality is. He's like, I'm just trying to be exciting and continue to get fights and make some money and have a good time.
But Drew was also, when he was younger, though, he was looking to get to a title shot.
And then you accept when you can't.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. But
that's what I'm hoping for Terrence.
Some of these guys that I know that are young, they accepted this basically after their first contract. They're like, yeah, gotcha. I went 2-1 and I'm like, all right, I'm not, they're not giving me any guys that I really want to fight. Let me just fight these guys, make as much money as I can, make it an exciting fight. And I can agree with that. It's no different than when you guys, maybe a lot of you guys probably don't know, but I know you do, is Jeremy Horn. Jeremy Horn, he didn't sign with the UFC. He didn't sign back with the UFC for so many years because he's like, I fight every weekend and I fight guys that come off of a bar stool. He has
like 200 fights or something crazy.
He's like, I fight guys that come off of a bar stool every weekend. I fight that guy. And I make 10 to 15 grand on these smaller shows. He's like, when I go to the UFC, I'm gonna fight Chuck Liddell, which was one of his first fights in the UFC. I'm gonna fight Chuck Liddell, and I'm gonna make like 80 grand. Why would I take a chance with Chuck Liddell when I can go and fight the barstool guy and beat him in a minute and a half or 2 minutes of work and make 15 grand? Doesn't make any sense. I'd rather fight every weekend. So hopefully we're not in that situation anymore because guys now are getting paid. Hopefully a lot more with the CBS deal.
What's crazy about Terrence McKinney? So Terrence McKinney, objectively an exciting fighter. There's never been a boring Terrence McKinney fight. He shows up every time, whether he wins or loses. It is what it is. But he's never gotten a fight of the night bonus ever. Not an official one. Maybe there's a locker room bonus in the mix, but
I don't believe that.
He's never. It's like a thing. Wow, he's never gotten a fight of the night bonus, and he has like 11 first round finishes in the UFC. No fight of the night bonus.
That's wild. That's wild to me. We got here Alejandro Gutierrez. Cerrone did that and is doing great now. I mean, yeah, because what happens is you become so popular within the community that sponsors want to sponsor you. People want to work with you. You got to have a good personality, though, too, by the way. The more you fight, the more people see you, the more money you could potentially make outside of that. So, yes, I would agree with you. And then you've got Zeke6629. He basically said, Macy Barber, I could not focus on the fight. She's just a 10 across the board. More score with 30-27. I forgot who she fought. She looked great around, and I app for the behavior. Not sure what that means.
I don't think she's that hot. I think Macy Barber on fight night, and it's hard for a lot of women to look good on fight night because they just cut so much weight. Mm-hmm. People this week were like all over Macy. I was surprised. That's it. That's where I'm in the sentence. I was just surprised because I did for Jacob. I did a Macy Barber knocked out Amanda Hebos. Jacob's favorite fighter is Amanda Hebos, and like he simps for her, and it's it's like a whole thing he does. So I got a cameo from Macy Barber, and she was just like in her Jeep and was like, "Sorry, Jacob." And in that video, I'm like, dude, Macy Barber's like kind of hot. This is crazy. And she was like cool and fun. But like since then, I don't know. It hasn't been the same.
Personality has a lot. Like for me, personality has a lot to do with whether you're hot or not.
She seemed cool in that video.
Yeah. Because I've met a bunch of fucking dime pieces. They open their mouth and I'm like, good God. And I'm not like in a ditzy, dumb way, just like in a way that's like, you're a bitch. And not like directed, not even directed at me, like directed at someone else. I'm like, wow, you're not someone I'd really even like want to be around. Like,
I within 3, I'm not a big, like people think I'm like this super outgoing, whatever. Cause like I'm pretty talkative on these things and can talk to, for the most part, it's like, I either like you immediately or I don't like I'm not a big, like warm up kind of, I can usually like immediately be like, this guy fucking sucks. Or like this dude's like when I went golfing with you and your buddy, I'm like, this dude's cool. Got it.
Yeah.
Good. This dude's cool.
Yeah. Good guy. I mean, people are good people, man. I mean, I try to surround myself with good people. I know I'm kind of a punk every once in a while, but I like to have fun.
It's just ball busting. It's not like just being an asshole for no reason.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Alejandro Gutierrez, again, can we talk about the illegal kick on Macy? Yes, we're about to get to that right now. It's taking forever to get to this fucking card, by the way.
It's me. I'm the problem.
No, I actually enjoy this. I love the banter back and forth, and I love the fact that we can actually get in-depth in the conversation about it. Macy Barber, illegal kick to the face. I thought she overplayed it, but either way, it was still an illegal kick, and it landed flush. And I thought, again, Mark Smith, dude, what the fuck are you saying? It didn't land. Dude,
he hates women.
What are you talking about? And then was it Mullen had to basically say like, hey, it landed clean. It was flush. It was an illegal blow. And then he glazed over it. He just glazed over. It's like, okay, are you ready to fight? Like, no, man, I just got kicked in the fucking face. Like, what are you talking about? It was very strange. Mark Smith did not have a good night last night.
No,
Did not.
And so I do my own recap video, whatever. In my recap video, I talked about two things. One, so the whole investigation, this whole like fight fixing thing with Isaac Dulgarian. Then there's that dude on Twitter that was like breaking all the stories, and he was the guy with all the news. And he was like, "There's investigations into who's the other ref? Herzog. There's investigations into Herzog, and that's why he's not on the next event." Herzog was all over this event. He refed the most amount of fights I've ever seen him ref in a night. It almost felt like a statement from the athletic commission to everybody else being like, shut up, nerds. None of that is true.
Yeah.
And so that Twitter dude is now getting sued. Jason Herzog is suing the Twitter dude for accusing him of being, and I got to choose my words wisely, because I don't know if he's accused Jason Herzog or he has said he's under investigation. I don't know the specifics, but either way, there's a lawsuit there. So it was interesting for me. There was a couple of controversial referee calls on this card, and Jason Herzog was on the correct side of his controversies, and Mark Smith was objectively on the wrong side of every single controversial situation. And this was one of them. And the funniest part, the second thing I was like talking about in this recap was, I'm pretty sure Mark Smith hates women, because as soon as Macy got illegally kicked in the face, Mark Smith was like, calm down, woman. It wasn't that big of a deal.
Is that what he said?
Down. No, he didn't say that.
Oh, I was like, holy shit.
He said it was glancing, cut that out, which is the same thing as saying calm down.
Mark Smith must not be married, because once you're married,
he's married
tell
too
your
long.
wife or do not tell her to calm down. That's the fucking last thing you tell a woman who's like fucking obviously going through something right at that moment.
He didn't actually say calm down, but I think his exact words were, that was a glancing blow, cut it out, because Macy was like flopping around a little bit. So he said, cut it out. But I heard that and was like, this dude hates women. He's basically telling like, shit, get out of here with the theatric bullshit. That was nothing. Stop it. And then they showed the replay, and we were all like, oh, that wasn't nothing, dude. Like that was something.
Oh yeah, it was right on. All right, I had to post this comment because I thought I couldn't spell. Simply trolling. 6869 Herzog. What? That's not how you spell Herzog. Is it decent? I'm a referee. I'm sorry, brother. I had to throw you out blast. I thought that shit was funny. Just say you did talk to text. That's all you have to say. Just throw that out.
No, talking to text makes it. It'll use the wrong words, but it'll spell every word correctly.
Just whatever. I thought it was great. Oh, that was fucking funny. Yeah, definitely illegal blow. Got to give her some time. It was like rushing her along. I was like, what is going on? Mark Smith did not have a good night. I like Mark Smith. He's a cool dude. I love chatting with him. I've talked to him a bunch of times. Been around him for years. It was just funny.
He was on the early Moreno stoppage too.
Oh, yeah.
He can't. I was just about to say he can't control. He could have controlled the stoppage on the Moreno fight, but he can't control an illegal up kick. It's just he just chose to be like, and it's a tricky situation because we've seen fighters milk shit. Yeah. Tom Aspinall, don't come from my head. We've seen fighters milk shit before. And so he was just trying to take control of that situation. Like, because Macy was like literally stumbling around to the point where it was interesting because Mark Smith saw Macy Barber stumbling and was like, it was a glancing blow. Stop that. Something like that. Basically meaning like you're putting on a show. Stop putting on a show. I know that didn't hit you very hard.
Do you think it was true? Do you think she was putting on a show? Do you think she was overselling it?
What's funny is
answer the question, Angelo.
At the time, yes. Sorry, at the time, no. But then she instantly was fine once it started up again. And afterwards, she's like, "Yeah, I was dizzy, but I got through it." But the fact that she and Macy's tough as shit. Like Macy's not like a quitter. She's not looking for a way out. She's tough as hell. So for her to tell either Mark, she tells Mark Smith or a different ref, I forget, I'm dizzy. That was actually a little surprising.
Yeah.
Because they could have called the fight. They would have been like, well, you're dizzy. Then you're concussed.
Hey, SSSZZ. I don't know how you say that. This is a great podcast. Yeah, Angela, I love it. Sizz for life. There you go.
Well, some other dude just said, I don't like this dude and pointed to me. So
did he? Nah, I like you. Luckily for us, he doesn't make the decision. All right, let's go ahead and move on, man. I wanted to Ferreira, Ziam, and then Sadykhov, just an overly dominant performance.
Yeah, I've never picked a Ferreira fight correctly ever.
Never.
I just keep thinking he's a little overrated, and then I just keep being wrong.
He just keeps
over and over and over. I'm just wrong every time.
You know what's funny is that's how Kamaru and I kind of like broke bread. Is I saw him, we were I was watching him hit mitts and train down in at Mohegan Sun when he was there, helping corner some of the fighters that he was there with, and then we were chatting, and then the Colby fights I picked against him, and then some other fights I picked against him, and then eventually I had to call him like, bro, I picked against you I don't know how many times. I'm sorry, I gotta have you on the pod though, just to say I'm sorry. He's like, all right, I'll come on. It was like I had to apologize to get him on because I was like, oh, I just can't vote again. I can't go against you now. I just can't. It's like you've proven me wrong so many times. So Angela, get with it, brother. Like Ziam or whatever his name is, he can fight. The guy looked really good. He looked fantastic.
And he adjusts well because he started as like a typical French, sorry if you're French, a typical French, stay on the outside. I don't actually want to be in a fist fight. I'm going to do that whole savate fighting thing. But then now he's like engaging. He changed his game plan up. He recognized, I'm not going to outstrike this dude. This dude's a very good striker. I need to mix in some wrestling. So he mixed in wrestling. And because he mixed in wrestling, the hands look like he looked fantastic all around. Not only did I pick Nazim Sadykhov, I had a little bet on him at plus money. I'm like, dude, Nazim's good. And they just couldn't. Nazim just could not get going.
Yeah, he didn't look good last night. And I thought Ziam looked actually fantastic. Alejandro Gutierrez, better acting, Macy or Aljo.
Aljo won a title off of his acting.
Yeah.
That's the Oscar equivalent of MMA acting. So yeah,
that's great, man. Here we go, right here. This next one is from Brian Peckin. Does it say Peckin? Sorry, my eyes are, I can't see. It says right here. I got to read it from my actual thing over here.
Brian Peckin, get this Italian off of here. We Italians ramble too much. I'm joking. You two are great.
He is correct though. That's why I enjoy doing the show with Angelo, man. He does ramble. He keeps
this is off the rails. People are gonna fucking hate this.
What?
Because I'm all over the place right now.
Oh, I love it, man. I think people
and I'm usually the organized one, but you catch me on a Sunday. Here's the problem with so two things I'm looking forward to at Paramount. You opened up this whole show with pay-per-views going away for some weird reason. What's going to Paramount is these numbered events are starting an hour earlier, and that's huge. I was up till 2:30 in this chair filming a recap video, blinking like I have a disease because my contacts are dry. They had been in. I was up for 21 hours yesterday to film all this, whatever. So it's going to be nice to. I mean, 1 hour is not a huge difference.
It's good enough. I'll take it.
Yeah, it helps.
I'll take it. I mean, I was you and I probably wrapped up around the same exact time. So, look at this. Here we go, my man. Appreciate you, buddy. Just because I appreciate you, Brian Peckin, for the $50 super chat. Thanks, my man, so much. All of you guys that have super chatted us tonight, I appreciate you guys, man, so much. It's been a blessing. So, like I said, every Sunday night, we're going to try to do this. I know next week, Angela's out of town. I'm actually traveling out of town as well, but we'll try to make sure we get scheduled and we'll do more live shows. Also, if you guys don't follow us on this channel on the way in, but we also have our own channel called Bad Takes. Subscribe to us over there. We just started that channel, 3 months ago? I mean,
a couple months.
We're getting it off the ground. I think we're at about 3,000 subscribers or 2,500, somewhere in there. It's just launching. We're just getting it going. But we do some random videos. Hit the bell, hit the subscribe button, and to get the notifications, because we do random videos throughout the week to just talk about hot topics. And we have fun, man. No different than this show. So, hey, Brian Peckin, I appreciate you. Thanks for the $50.
Yeah, that's huge from Brian.
Yeah, thank you so much. Let's go ahead and talk real quick about Bruno Ferreira. There was some comments made by Justin Gaethje about this. He didn't make weight. He had a good performance. knockdown, drag out kind of fight, beat Marvin Vettori. He's getting bumped up in the rankings, all these things. Did not make the weight though. 20% is obviously not a big enough fine. What are we going to do about this? And what can we suggest for the commissions to fix it? I don't have the answer to this, to be honest. Do. Okay, give it to me.
I solved it a couple weeks ago or months ago, whatever it was. I think you do have to do the monetary penalty, the money. I also think you start the first round minus a point.
Oh, that's a
lot. Okay, make weight. You can control that. That is entirely within your control if you make the weight or not. Make the weight. Nobody's forcing you. Like, that's not outside of your control. Make the weight. It's literally your job. It's actually the only part of your job. Your actual job as a UFC fighter is not to win the fight. Your job is to show up and fight. Yeah. And if you didn't make weight, you didn't show up. That it's the bare minimum is to show up on time, on weight, and he didn't do that. So yeah, start with a point. And obviously, if you're going to knock somebody out, then the point doesn't matter. But in that fight, that point may have mattered. That's my suggestion.
Okay. Zeke 6629. He's matching. We got a little battle going on here. I love it. Thank you guys so much for the $49 super chat, $50 super chat. I'll match it. Great breakdown tonight. I appreciate it, man. It's been a long one, but Zeke. Look, I love it, man. Zeke has been on fire. Thanks. I appreciate you guys, man. You guys are absolutely amazing. We're going to, like I said, we're going to try to continue doing this. I agree with you, though, is that I don't think it should be a full point in a 3-round fight. I would love to see the half-point scoring system take an effect. You take a half a point, but I think you take a half a point for the first 3 pounds. If it's over 3 pounds, then you get into a full point.
No, now it's semantics. Honestly, it's your problem. First of all, you fought. You show up on Tuesday's travel day, right? It still is, I assume. Tuesday's travel day. You show up. They check your weight. Mm-hmm. And then if you're a little over, you're like, don't worry, I'm good. It used to be Burt Watson. I don't know who the hell does it now. I'm good. We're good. I'm going to make weight. Yeah. Don't worry about me. And they check you throughout the week to make sure you're not just some fat idiot that's going to screw up the card. And if you screw up the card, that's on you. Brian, tell him. And Zeke, wait, first, sir, Zeke. Are you Zeke? Is that your username because of the Cowboys? Brian, Jesus, look at these people. Brian
Packett with the $100 super chat. Thank you. You guys are wild. I love this. I absolutely love this. You won't be me, Zeke. Will Italy ever get a UFC event? Will Italia? will Italy ever? I don't know. Will Italy ever get a UFC event?
Not now that Marvin Vettori sucks.
No, they've done one before, right?
Well, let's see. Google AI is our best friend.
I think they've done one. They've done one, I think, in Madrid. Not Madrid.
Oh, that's fucking Madrid. Spain, isn't it, Josh? No, the UFC has never had a numbered fight night event in Italy.
Oh, a numbered one. Have they ever fought there? I believe they've had one there. They haven't had one in Milan. I said no, Madrid. Milan.
According to Google AI, no. Nope. The problem is Italy's. I know a lot about it because let's pull out the passport again. I'm a dual citizen. The problem with Italy is let's talk politics. It's like an aging population.
Yeah.
It's an aging population. They're having fewer kids than any, like, it's not a country right now that's like, let's spend a ton of money and go watch sports. It's like dying to the point where they're encouraging people to move there and have kids and like trying to make sure that
a lot of countries are doing that. Japan right now is offering people to move there. Switzerland's offering.
Women, I'll make sure my wife's not here. Japanese women are hot. The hell they having a problem for?
I'm gonna clip this and send it to
Italian women are hairy and some are hot, some are not.
Gorgeous, dude.
Depends on which one.
That's true. That is, look, that goes with any. Yeah. You know what? I never mind. I don't want to get into this. I don't want to get into this.
You know what I search on the website?
My wife actually watches my show. She'll go back and be like, "Did you think about why did you say that? Did you say this? I can't believe you did."
Brian asked, Angelo, "Are you Italian or Sicilian?" I'm Sicilian from Palermo. It's funny. So I'm Italian. I don't know if anybody knows the difference. So Italy is the boot. Sicily is the little island that the boot is kicking. Mm-hmm. Sicily is like closer to Africa. So there's a lot of like I'm going to say crossbreeding. That's an insane term to use. But Sicilians are who people think of when they think of Italians. Dark complexion, like thick, dark hair. And then Northern Italy is Marvin Vettori, basically a ginger. My family's from Naples. My parents are from Naples. Like I'm Napolitan. I'm a little pale now, but you catch me in July, I could be a Puerto Rican. So I'm Napolitan, but my cousins, my mom's sister's kids, her husband is from Sicily. And growing up in a household where we would go there for I was in Connecticut, they were in New York, we would go there for holidays, and every freaking Sunday my grandparents lived in the house, like typical multi-generational. They wouldn't talk to him because he was Sicilian and they were from Naples. They like wouldn't talk to him. It was contentious. It's the same country, but it's like very feudy.
Yeah.
So there's your answer, Brian.
Oof. Zeke 662 can't be outdone. Oh my Lord. Here we go.
Zeke says he hates the Cowboys and Puerto Rico. That's a wild thing to throw in there. Oh, my bad. Hold on. Let me back up. I'm not going to accuse Zeke. I paused awkwardly. He said, I hate the Cowboys and Puerto Rico will get an event before Italy. Not I hate the Cowboys and he capitalized the A and, which really sent the wrong message.
I thought he was talking about Kill Tony, the comedian, when he said Puerto Ricans are trash or something like that.
It's a floating
trash island or some shit. I was like, oh, Zeke 6629. Thanks for the $100, man. Dude, you guys are killing it. You guys
Puerto
are
Rico's
awesome.
America. That's what's funny about that is, so obviously like Bad Bunny's doing the halftime show at the Super Bowl and people were like, get an American.
Yeah.
Puerto Rico, they're American citizens. They have passports and
Yep.
your 32-cent U.S. mail stamp goes there.
Yeah.
So Puerto Rico is America and they may get an event.
Yeah, I would imagine they would eventually sometime. Oh, Jesus Christ.
You got an extra penny on that one. Here you go.
They're battling it out right now. Italians are better, Zeke. I win. Italians are better, Zeke.
This is taking a racial term. Like this is you're flirting with issues right now.
This is great. I love it, you guys. Yeah, thank you guys, man. I love the banter back and forth. Who would have thought having an Italian on the show would actually produce this much money?
Divide people. I'm literally dividing people to the point where they're fighting out in the comment. That's what's happening.
Oh, it's great.
Brian and Zeke fighting out at a racial battle for the ages.
Let's talk about the last two fights on the. I didn't see the first two fights. Did you watch the first two fights? But I wanted to talk about Jalen Turner and Edson and Barboza, and I want to talk about Iwo versus Ebo. That was a mouthful. Like it's so fast, so quick to say. But Jalen Turner, welcome back, my man. I thought, and I said it when you retired. I said too soon. You got plenty of time left. What are you doing? I love watching you fight. Last night was a reason why I'm glad that he's back. This is how the matchups are key. He's got to fight these type of guys. Because these are the kind of fights that I hope the UFC continues to make for him. He's so fun on the feet. Stop giving him guys fucking just wrestlers. I don't want to see that shit. I want to see him fight guys like Edson Barboza. I want to see him fight the stand-up guys. Now throw in a couple guys that can wrestle a little bit. Cool.
Lost Dan Hooker.
I mean, I get it. Dan Hooker's. Let's not pretend like Dan's not good.
No, I'm saying there was a striker.
Yeah. But we'll get a fight out of that. I want to see those kind of things. That was one of the things, and I've said this, and I said it last show. I probably said it every damn fucking show. I never got offered this Donald Cerrone fight. I wanted to see that fight. I wanted to fight that fight because that was a fight that everyone said that they would love to see when I came back to the UFC. Never got offered that fight. That's a fight that I would have loved to have had. You know,
wait, you and who?
Me and Cowboy Cerrone.
Oh, he would have smoked you. What are you gonna do? Shoot one of those takedowns from a mile away? What were you gonna do? He's 6'2".
Bro, I was a way better grappler.
I'm just messing with you.
What? Better wrestler, better grappler, and on the feet.
I don't know
I was faster than him on the
triangles.
Feet. Definitely fast. He actually, like in his guard, dangerous. In half guard, not
long
and
so lanky
much.
And uses it well.
He does. He definitely does. All right. Like, how did you? What were your thoughts on that fight?
I agree. Well, welcome back. I said I did the same thing when Jalen retired. It felt very much like took his ball and went home. Like I lost a couple fights. I quit. He's 30. He's 30. and he's good, and he lost to very good people with different circumstances. The Renato Moicano lost, you knock that dude out. He knocked Renato Moicano out. The problem is he turned around and he celebrated, so he had a full adrenaline dump, and the ref's like, dude, this fight's not over. What the hell are you doing? And then Renato came out in the second round and won that fight. So, like, then he loses to Ignacio Bahamondes, and then he quit. But he has found Jesus. Like, he changed his life. He's like, I don't know everything about his personal life, but he's been very, like, he is saying, I found Jesus. And he came out there and he looked like he found the devil, because he was just swinging, moving forward, staying busy, being long, rangy. He looked fantastic. And statistically speaking, Jalen Turner is the worst fighter Edson Barboza has ever lost to.
Wow.
Meaning, like, everybody else that at the time Edson lost to them had a much better record than Jalen Turner. Much better record. The combined record, I'm forgetting the exact number. Jacob did all the math. The combined record of Edson Barboza's last 11 losses was like 156 and 12. It was like something absurd like that. And, Jalen Turner came out there and I mean, Edson had no success whatsoever. He beat the absolute crap out of him.
Yeah, look, Edson's just getting a little long in the tooth, and I'm not taking a jab at him whatsoever. He's just getting older. He's taking a lot of damage. He stylistically, they have tried to fast track him to like a title, and they just have not been able to do it. And the reason why is because he's so fun and entertaining to watch. They just have not been able to get him to that title. There's nothing, like, the moment's passed. He will never be champion. The guys are so good now, and they're getting better every single day. And he's in this range of where he's always kind of been the guy he's got good stand-up, explosive, all those things, but he has a tendency to slow down as the fight goes on. If you wrestle him, grapple him, push him, he gets tired. He gets real tired. His muscles blow up. I was talking about this when I was talking about last night. I said, bro, eat a fucking French fry. Peak performance is in Fedor's body, Cain Velasquez's body, Paul Bonatello's body. That's what peak performance, Angelo's body. That's what peak performance looks like.
I did just hang a bag in the garage, so things are about to change around here.
But he's one of those guys that, like, I feel like he's so lean all the time, probably the majority of his life, that it's affecting his performances. It's affecting the way his body moves. Look at
It's your argument it's because he was in too good a shape he lost that fight?
No.
Is that where we're going with this?
So wait, you're telling me, and no, I don't want to pitch this as an argument to you. I want to simply say, guys that are physically like bodybuilders, they look great, they look lean, they look ripped. Have you seen those guys get fucking exhausted walking to the fucking refrigerator? They have no cardio. They have no cardio whatsoever. You grapple or wrestle with a guy, or you have them hit mitts. Those guys, those bodybuilder guys, they don't have enough fuel in their body to get them to work.
Lost in 2.5 minutes. Cardio wasn't a factor.
Yes, it was. It absolutely was.
2.5 minutes.
Bro, he couldn't even lift his arms up. He was so tired after that 2 minutes. Cardio was definitely a factor.
So many times.
No. Yes, he did get hit in the face though too.
He was bloody, mangled mess.
It was not that big. It was not as big a factor as you'd like to believe. Look, and then Iwo versus Ebo, great fight. Yeah. Knockdown, drag out. This was one of those fights as well. Oh, he's gonna go down. Oh, it's over. It's over. No, it's not. It's not. Absolutely insane fight. Absolutely insane fight. I'm glad we had that chance to watch that fight. What were your take on that fight?
I picked and bet on Iwo, the winner. I did the tape study. I looked at it. I was like, this dude only has 6 fights, but like I can't watch the 6 regional fights and say what he sucks at, because he has wrestling, he has striking, he's got jiu-jitsu. Like, he's good at everything. He just needs to tighten things up a little bit, but he's good. So I picked him. I bet on him. I got much better odds than what he closed at. And then he got in that fight, and I was like, oh my God, I'm an idiot. How stupid am I? Because Ebo was landing big, had him rocked. The way I described it is it was the best 90 seconds we have seen all year. I've given this one, my wife's over there, the best 90 seconds of her life. We got the best 90 seconds of 2025 in that fight. It was, I mean, they
total of 3 minutes because you got 2 kids. That's
yeah, exactly. Yeah. One of them might not be mine. The
fucking milkman.
Yeah. She's way too athletic to be mine. It was just a straight up drag him out back and forth war. And what sucks is, and the UFC's been doing better. It used to be if you lose 3 in a row, the UFC cuts you, right? That was like the unofficial rule, where Aslan has now lost 3 in a row. But we just saw Alex Perez is booked on a Paramount card.
Yeah.
He's lost like 4, 5, 10 in a row. Like it's something crazy.
Yeah.
He's like 1-6 in his last 7. It's something absurd. But he goes out there. He's got good performances. And I think the UFC now is, for the good and the bad of it, going more towards, did you show up?
Yep.
Were you professional? Was it an exciting fight? Because they're realizing if I'm doing 12 to 14 fights, 44 Saturdays a year, not all of these people are going to be world champions. And some of them are going to be on some pretty unfortunate losing streaks. But it was an entertaining fight. I can use them to build somebody else. I can use them to keep people watching. They need to keep Aslan on the roster. He lost 3 in a row. He really is struggling to get wins at the UFC level. His only win is over Rafael Sequeira. That dude's terrible. But he's fun. Every fight, he goes out there. He's not afraid to swing. He was almost knocked out the other dude. Like, it was just a good old-fashioned slug fight, and it was a ton of fun, and I loved it. And just keep him around.
Yeah.
Don't cut him.
No, I get it. Like I said, these are the guys that will open up the main card on these CBS cards. You need to get people. I've dealt with CBS. I've worked with them for Bellator. I was actually on one of the CBS cards when I was with Strikeforce. The conversations at the table is like, hey, what fighters do we have that can help open up the card or be a good fill-in fight that keeps the action going? So if you were like, what's it called? Basically like a fill-in fight would be like someone, if the first fight ended fast because it's on TV and the commercial stuff, they'd have you fill in right away. Your matchup would go in. A swing bout. Sorry, swing bout is what I was looking for. And I was a swing bout with Dwayne Ludwig. So they said, hey, like if this first fight goes down, you're going to be up right away. First fight went down quick. They threw us in, boom. And so these guys like Ebo and Ewo and, and so forth, Jalen Turner and Edson Barboza, these guys will be those kind of guys. They'll be the type of fighters that go out there and they'll put them on the first opening fight to get people to tune in. No different than like the last pay-per-view. And they're going to say, hey, the last pay-per-view is going to get people to buy pay-per-views. That's the take when you're talking about CBS cards. So look for more of these guys to be the opening fights for the CBS cards. I didn't see the other 2 fights. If you want to talk about them, go right ahead. Tell me about it. What happened? I didn't even look them up afterwards.
We opened up the card with Myron Santos, Muhammad Naimov. That was just a fun fight. You're going to see it ended by finish. It wasn't wildly competitive. Myron Santos was just a little bit better everywhere. A little bit better of a wrestler, a little bit better of a striker, a little faster, a little stronger, a little cleaner. And then he did finish Naimov, who's notably durable. So it was a good win for Myron Santos. And then Mansour Abdul Malik, minus 1,200 favorite, choked the shit out of Antonio Tricoli. How that dude is getting submitted in back-to-back guillotine chokes. Because what was crazy about this guillotine, Antonio Tricoli didn't shoot a takedown. Mansour Abdul Malik like almost had him knocked out, ran through him with a good old-fashioned D1 double, and then was like, oh, there's your head. Like grabbed his head, pulled it down, and then choked him. Like it was so weird to me that he was just that easily guillotined. But he's been inside Mackenzie Dern, so he's had a decent life.
Wait, who is this?
Oh, look who perked up. Antonio Tricoli.
Oh, was that his girlfriend?
Yeah, they were together for a while. Did you ever hear that story about Bobby Green talking about how he thought Mackenzie Dern was texting him and was like flirting with him? It was like, oh, meet me over here. And he was like, yeah, hell yeah, let's go. And it wasn't Mackenzie Dern. It was Antonio Tricoli.
Oh, what a stud. I love that Tricoli did that.
He's just an insecure, he's an insecure dweeb.
All right, hey, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up. But there's a couple super chats that I want to get to. You in the Granite 617, Paisans and Irish Blood USA hashtag epic. Thanks for the $2 super chat. And then Alejandro Gutierrez, Dana confirmed beef with Arman at presser. Thoughts?
He did. Did you watch the press conference?
I watched the highlights of it.
They basically asked Dana, like, how did you come to the Patty versus Gagey fight, whatever? And he was like, you guys know Arman screwed us. You know what he did to us. We put a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of money into promoting that fight, and he screwed us. So, yeah, it's a long road back for him, and he's going to have to win a couple fights before we put him back in that position. It's not beef. I wouldn't call that beef. It's not two-way.
Yeah.
It's dude. We talked about it in one of our videos on the Bad Takes channel. I don't know what they spent, but I think between the money they spent promoting Arman versus Islam and then the money they lost because people did not buy the pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Because
because they don't have to refund the pay-per-view if one half of the
well, it happened the night before. Yeah, and I mean, I guess people might have bought it ahead of time. I don't know.
Well, a lot of people do buy it ahead of time. Actually, 60% of people buy it ahead of time.
Really?
But, yes. But if one fighter stays on, they don't have to refund the money.
Same with tickets in real life. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But I assume the UFC lost $20 million because of that guy. So now Dana's very public about, and good for Dana for being that clear about it. Dana didn't play stupid. Dana wasn't like, oh, he was just like, nah, that guy screwed us. He's going to wait. Okay, fair enough.
Thanks for the $2 super chat, Alejandro Gutierrez. Another super chat from Alejandro Gutierrez. It says, maybe Talbott found Jesus too in Puerto Rico. I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
LOL.
If his lifestyle is conducive of that.
Jesus loves everybody. Let's not forget that. All right, here we go. And we've got Brian Peckin. It says right here. Go ahead. You read that for me there. You read that for me.
Brian with the $10 super chat after donating what is likely an entire mortgage payment. Josh is getting better looking the older he gets. He's what all men should strive to be. He is peak man. Josh did not pay me for this comment.
This is great. I love it. Thank you so much. Brian Peckin, man, you were awesome in the super chat tonight, man.
Peyton Talbot's burner.
Zeke 662, Granite, the Granite 617, Alejandro Gutierrez, and everybody else. Thank you guys so much, man. And I want to just thank you guys, man. You guys have been absolutely amazing tonight. And anything else you want to talk about? You want to wrap this thing up?
I think that was it. Hold on. Did I have notes? Hold on. I think that was it. It was a good card. Oh, here's one little rant for me. Mm-hmm. So the last time we did a post pay-per-view show, it was after UFC 322, and people were like, "Oh, this guy's too negative. Like, oh, he definitely has like a monster, or whatever, but he's negative." Because I was like,
head,
no, hammer. Because I was like, oh, the main event was 24 minutes of control time. The co-main event was 24 minutes of control time. Wasn't the most exciting fight card to spend $80 on a card that I was very hyped for. You could do the same thing for this main card. So I had like an epiphany yesterday. I bought the pay-per-view earlier in the day, and I have PayPal hooked up to ESPN Plus. So I bought the pay-per-view. I got a PayPal notification. Your $86 charge went through. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, dude, $86 for 5 fights. It is so nice that is going away. It's like I've been spending $86 a month minimum a month, because there's months where we have 2. October had 2. I spent $170 in October. So then the fights actually happened. The entire undercard was spectacular. We had 9 undercard fights. 8 of them were finishes. The one that wasn't a finish was Marvin Vettori. That was a decent back and forth fight. Then we hit the main card. I paid $86 for this main card for 5 fights. The very first fight is a draw. No outcome. Second fight, one-sided but fun. Third fight, controversial early stoppage. Fourth fight, the dude breaks his arm in 26 seconds. Fifth fight was actually very good. I spent $86. And I was like, you know what? I am very excited to be done with pay-per-views. Mm-hmm. Charging people for a small subset of fights. And then I'm glad we're done with that model. You pay for the whole event every month. You're going to get what we give you, and you're going to enjoy it. I'm glad we're done with that.
Yeah, I'm extremely excited about that. There's a lot, man. Like, that was the business model for so long. I'm glad we're getting away from that. It's not even so much just that. It is that now we can just tune in anytime and watch when we want to watch, and look, and Paramount's going to go up in price. Let's not pretend like it's not. I mean, Netflix is $24, $24.99. I think if you want like the premium and no commercials, I honestly believe Paramount's going to go to that. It's going to match. It can't go above Netflix. Netflix has fucking everything, and they just bought Warner Brothers, so they're going to be they're going to look to, they may even up their price as well.
So Paramount Plus right now is $7.99 a month. And they said it's going to go to $12.99 because of they literally said because of the UFC.
Oh, I thought, I think by the end of next year, it'll be at $24.
I don't think it'll be 24.
Not 2026.
They're not going to,
2027
double in price in 2 years.
That's where Netflix is at.
You can't compare them to Netflix.
I'm not saying, that's why I'm saying they're going to go $12.99 first. They're going to slow play you. They're going to go, hey, right now it's $12.99. After we have a year of product that we can sell you and show that it works, we're going to up you again next year.
Netflix got to 24 over like 10 years, $1 at a time. No,
Netflix actually is only like, Netflix right now is only like $18 or $19, but they offer another one. I think it's like actually
and
they offer you a premium
4K multi-stream.
Yeah. So look for them to do something along those lines. What else we got here?
Well, but hold on, sorry.
Go ahead.
Even with ESPN, you have to pay for ESPN.
I know.
You don't even just get to pay $86 and be done.
And it's not $49. It's not $4.99 like it was when we first started. It used to be $4.99. Now it's like $10.
Yeah, I have Verizon and it's included in Verizon for free. But yeah, it's like, so you have to pay a monthly fee and then on top of it. So I'm just glad we're done with that model because it creates customer dissatisfaction because you just spent $80 and it wasn't amazing. Where if you just have your monthly fee and it's just like, those fights were okay. I'm good. It's fine. Yeah. Then you're fine. And it's okay. They were just included. Like there wasn't insane outrage when the Netflix stream was cutting out for the Mike Tyson fight. Then people were pissed, obviously, but it wasn't obscene.
Yeah.
Where if you paid $80 for that and it was a mess, then yeah, obscene.
All right. We'll see. And then we've got Brian Peckin says, I haven't paid for the UFC events ever. Been watching UFC since single digits. I would get Paramount for UFC events now. It's a great move. I'm glad that they did it. I'm absolutely so glad they did it.
That's how he has all the money for the super chats.
He's been saving $1,200 a year.
Yeah.
And then Alejandro Gutierrez, Josh, I'll bet you $100 Paramount doesn't go to $25. No, I think I'll pass.
Don't take that bet, Josh.
I'm not taking some
you
bets.
Will lose.
I'm not taking bets. All right, guys. Hey, we're going to wrap this up. I want to thank you guys. You guys were amazing tonight in the super chats, and I want to thank you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy this show. This is my partner on this show, Angelo, and we also do a show called Bad Takes. Like and subscribe over there on that platform. And we do shows. We drop shows throughout the week. We also go wewantpicks.com/offer. wewantpicks.com/offer. It's an AI platform that actually, and more bets that generate on there. You can actually just get information. It does not bet for you. It's not a sports book. It just helps you figure out how you want to place your bets. And it's good to have those resources. And then it has some degenerate gamblers on there that actually give you their picks. So you can take a look at them and say, hey, why did you take this bet? Why would you go on this? Why did you parlay this? You can formulate your own conclusion from that and go ahead and decide how you guys want to bet. At wewantpicks.com/offer, it's only $10. Right, Angelo? It's only $10. So if you don't like it,
it's actually $9 with that link.
Okay, with that link. So it's $9 with that link. So use that and use the promo code and still, which I think we're probably going to change to the punk here soon because you like that. You like
it's just easier.
It's just easier. Punk.
For you. It doesn't matter to me.
You don't want to just call it Josh?
Josh is weird. You don't do first names.
You don't do first names. All right, so go ahead and hit it up. Check it out. It's $10. Use the whole month of the $10. Check it out. See if it offers. If you love it, what is it? $90 or $99 for the year? $300 for lifetime.
It's $100 a year, but that /offer is a 10% discount.
There you go.
So then it's $90 for an entire freaking year. Sorry, people are asking for the Bad Takes link. Let me find it. YouTube.com/bad/@Bad Takes. It's clips for some reason. That was Josh's idea, not mine. Let me paste it in the chat here. There. Done.
All right. There it is. It will be in the descriptions as well. We have it listed down below in the descriptions. You can hit that. Use the promo code and still. And then also, too, there's a link down below for the descriptions in the drink element. They will send you a bonus package with every purchase through that link. And sometimes they'll send you Yetis, they'll send you hats, they'll send you, t-shirts, they'll send you whatever. But they'll give you a bonus package with every purchase if you use that link down below in our descriptions. Hey, guys, thank you so much. We're going to wrap this up. And Angela, anything else before we go?
No, nothing for me. My wine ran out a while ago, so nothing for me.
2 hours and 18 minutes. We killed it. We crushed it. It's been a great time, man. Until next time, guys, we're out.